Welcome to the 4205 cast. The Kings are coming at you live, but you'll hear us on tape delay. Today I have with me
Joe.
Damn it. One day we'll get it right.
yes.
I'm always the ambitious one who has to go first. So, otherwise there'd be awkward. So I'd rather go at the same time than neither of us.
Same here. But Joe and I are go-getters, so of course we do.
But there is always both. There's always the awkward silence, and you guys are going at the same time. So what's that about?
All right. Well,
I'd rather actually. All right. Let's try it again. Me first, then Chris.
Today I have with me
Joe,
Chris,
and you have your host Theo.
Hey.
And it's actually daytime.
I know.
Weird. Yeah. Look at the light outside. This is
it's super weird. Yeah. Well, I can't tell the difference for you, Joe.
No, I was in the pool though. Look,
nice.
This wet hair. See, his hair is so wet.
Again, it's also could not tell the difference.
Nice cut.
My hair is wet from the shower. So
okay. So
that's a thing.
I was in the
remember showers?
Yeah, I took one.
Yeah, I take them all the time.
Are you kidding me? I've started taking my showers after midnight though.
Interesting.
Because that is it's so good. It's
okay.
So good. I do rinse off at night. I'll do like the rinse off at night.
So I hate the heat, like humidity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
At my peak, I'm at 3 showers a day.
Jesus.
That's too many.
No. Not when it's sticky and disgusting. I'm like, I just gotta get in this thing and get like a cold shower.
Yeah. You need to come over for a swim.
Yeah.
That's a thing as well, but then I have to take the train back and then it's like, well, gotta take a shower.
That's fine. You take a shower, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I like taking a shower before bed because what I was doing.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, when I was still actually commuting to work, I would be getting up in the morning, taking a shower, and then going back to sleep for an hour, and it was the best part of my day.
You know what? You told me that one time. I was like, let me give this a shot. Yeah, it was good. It's really good.
She showers and she naps for
it's really good.
a half hour every time, and I'm like, maybe I should try that. And I did one day. I was like, oh, that was the best thing ever.
It's so good, in fact, that you might want to just not go to work anymore. So I'm very. I start at very precarious time. So when I do that, I'm like, if I go to sleep, I might not wake back up.
Well, here's the thing, right? You got to get up an hour earlier than you would have if you were, going to start your workday. The thing about it is, you shower and now you can just rest for an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going to have trouble getting up and going to work anyway.
You have a boss used to call it time to stare at your socks, where you just kind of like, while you're getting ready, you just take your fucking time. You just space the fuck out. Let your brain
I thought that was the what am I doing in my lifetime?
That happens. So many times I'll put on one sock and just will not have the energy to put on the other one for 10 minutes.
It's like,
can
I do it today?
Yeah.
Today? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, I'll manage today, I guess.
Especially now in this existential nightmare that we're living in.
That's a thing, right? Speaking of existential nightmares, what are you guys playing?
Hey, Joe, you want to start us off, or?
Well, okay. So my Switch Pro controller decided that it wanted to completely drift downwards all the time, all day, every day, right? So for the last week, I couldn't do anything. Well, I could, but nothing with an analog because I didn't have like a backup analog.
And you use that outside of just your Switch alone, correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I use
that's his primary PC controller.
That's my primary PC controller. Yeah. But the downward drift was just too much. It was permanently stuck down, so I couldn't play anything that required a controller. So I had to go to mouse and keyboard stuff, which if I was still playing Divinity, it would be fine. And if I didn't want to play another game like Divinity and go to Pillars, it would be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I had to look for other things that had good mouse and keyboard controls, which on PC is not really hard to find.
I'm always a little surprised how pro controller you are outside of fighting games.
Well, it's some games are just better with a controller.
100%.
Platformers are.
Action games.
Action games are like
hack and slash.
Totally.
Beat 'em ups. Yeah.
And anything that requires like precision timing with that's not to say that anything that requires precision aiming is better with a mouse.
Yes.
Anything that requires precision
directional movement, I am using a controller.
I'm using a controller.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No doubt.
So I had a tough week. Even though it's like a host of games that could play, but I didn't want to play FPS. Risk of Rain 2 finally released its 1.0 version. It's now out of early access.
Yes. Nice.
And there's still a whole bunch of missing content, even though it's fine. It's a
1.0 release in 2020. It's video games now.
It's fine.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah. So I went back to it, and I think I still hate it.
Really?
I think I still hate it. Yeah.
So this has been fascinating because the past week, just a lot of people I know has been streaming it, and I am addicted to watching the streams of this game. And I actually wanted to.
I don't think I'm very good at it. That might be it.
Have you played the first Risk of Rain?
No.
So I hate that game. Like, have you ever seen it before?
Yes.
I think the thing that throws me off is the perspective. Like you're a tiny character in this big open space that just really just messes me up for some reason. The perspective changed to 3D for this game. Just like it just clicked something in my brain, and I was like, yeah, this looks incredible.
This is the way to do this.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm actually shocked you don't like it.
Well, they throw you into this and you feel super weak, and unless you get like super good stuff, you're going to be super weak for most of it. And
so Binding of Isaac.
The thing about Binding of Isaac is that there's so much stuff.
Okay.
That there's a lot of variety and good synergy with your items. In Risk of Rain 2, they just seem to just throw a bunch of shitty healing items at you, and you never feel powerful.
Gotcha. So the ceiling is much higher in Isaac.
It's much higher in Isaac.
Gotcha.
But the floor is a little up in Risk of Rain. But like I did never really. There's a few times I can get something going, but by the time I do on the medium and higher difficulties, things just ramp up too quickly for me to even really keep up, and I end up having to try to skip a lot of stuff in order to keep that difficulty down. But if I do, then I don't have any items to go with, and there's a lot of tedious times where you're scouring the map for a randomly placed teleporter that looks pretty much identical to in color to all the terrain that's around. It's a pain in the neck. Sometimes you spend like minutes and minutes and minutes looking for this thing. It's just after a session of that, I think I mentioned this the last time I talked about it, I feel terrible. It's like eating an entire bag of junk food in one sitting. After I'm done with it, I'm like, wow, I feel like shit.
But while you're eating it, is it amazing?
Sometimes, sometimes it could be like, the greatest bag of salt and vinegar chips you ever had. Another time, it's like modern day Doritos, where it's like I just ate this whole bag of dusty corn chips, and now I feel terrible.
I feel nothing.
Yeah.
Quick aside, I had some spicier nacho the other day, and that was my favorite shit back in the day.
Spicier nacho too.
Yeah, and I was like, oh no, this isn't it anymore.
No,
it's all about the purple one. That's the only one that's good now.
The only good Doritos are the sweet spicy chili. You got to be in the mood for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Because they're the only one with any actual flavor. Although honestly, I still like the spicy nacho because it tastes like what the original one used to be.
Kind of.
It's the closest one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I just haven't found it in that game. Like, there's only a few types of classes I like to play in that. I like the mercenary. I like the artificer. I haven't tried the captain yet.
Captain.
Yeah. But it didn't look like I wasn't willing to learn a new character class and try to suffer through the game again. I'm tired of playing the game on the easy mode.
Okay.
Just so I can get past the second stage without dying all the time, because they throw all these healing items at you, but it doesn't matter because by the time you need it, you're dead. And I don't know, and it feels really bad to play multiplayer because then you have to share items with other people. So now all the terrible items that are dropping
split between people now.
Split between people. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I literally have it in my cart right now. I actually want to hear you talk about it before.
Look, this game is getting near universal praise.
Yeah.
Of all the people I've heard talk about this, I am the only one who really feels this way. Everybody else seems to love it.
Okay.
And I just can't. I don't know. I can't click with it. I don't know.
It's not your jam, bro.
Well, it is my jam.
It's
exactly my jam.
But it's not.
But it's not working for me. Like, what is I'm like, I keep playing. Like, maybe this time will be different. But and that ties into the second experience I went through. I've been playing Civilization 6.
I saw that.
Yeah,
that I saw you. I saw you on Steam last night.
Yeah, and every time I load that up. Oh, okay. The story of Civ 6 for me. I bought it in 2016, day and date. And I refunded it almost immediately because I went in and I'm like, this is not what I want. I didn't want it at the time. I didn't want to. I had all this stuff from Civ 5. I think I like Civ 5 better. I still had all the expansions from Civ 5. Civ is always better after expansions anyway.
100%.
So,
Facts.
Yeah. So I just said, let me shelve this. Let me just get back to it another time. And I bought it last month during the Steam sale. Thinking, I'm going to want to pull the trigger on this eventually. But I made the mistake of not buying the expansions.
Ooh, why?
Because they're really expensive. Oh, my God. They're like $40 expansions.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
And more coming out. Oh, no.
Firaxis.
Okay.
Wait, is Firaxis? No. Yeah, they're independent.
No, SimCity's EA.
SimCity's EA, yeah. This is one of the most unsatisfying Civilization games I've ever played.
Really?
Unsatisfying. I feel the same way after playing Risk of Rain.
Oh, wow.
But imagine, take it to a Civ scale, where you're playing for 3 times as long.
Yeah, and
the length of some indie games, actually.
Yeah. Exactly.
Our beautiful bite-sized indie games.
I'm amazed I managed to refund it within the 2-hour window.
Oh, wait, the first time or
first time? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I say I seen you be playing it a lot. I don't know.
No. It's well beyond. So, first off, I don't like the leaders. I don't like what they do. Barbarians are way too aggressive. They are so annoying. And it's just flat out tedious. I've never had a more unsatisfying experience playing a Civ game before.
What about this version that bothers you versus Civ 5? Like bells and whistles, whatever.
Well, in Civ 5, you could focus in on a very small amount of cities. You can there's even a one city mode, and there's victory conditions for having smaller empires. Where you focus in on a small amount of cities or one city, and you can get a victory through a cultural thing that way.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the idea of having a big sprawling empire. That's kind of fun too, but it really bogs the game down a lot.
Right.
You see, I certainly have a lot more maintenance, a lot more things to do, but it's what you want out of that game, and what you need out of the cities is it's at odds with each other. I want to build another city, but this city is starving. It doesn't have a lot of amenities. You're being besieged by barbarians all the time, so you need more military. So I feel like I can never get to what I want out of what I have.
Yeah.
And by the time I get there, if I want to build some wonder towards my goal or something, some other civilization has built it. So every time I've gone into it, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do things differently this time. I'm going to have things ready. And sometimes you get there, and sometimes you don't. And I made the mistake of trying a religious victory.
I was about to ask if you have any victories yet.
I did a science and a culture.
Okay.
I like culture victories. Those are my favorite.
It took me a while to figure out how to get a cultural victory in this one, because what you gotta do is you gotta get your tourism up. So you have to build museums and put things like writing artwork, music into museums and stuff. So people come and start visiting your city more and more than any other. So that's the tourism thing now. So I didn't understand it at first, but I got there by accident. So that was my first session or whatever. Then I did the science victory, and that was so tedious. Because you got to launch a thing to the moon, and then you got to build a spaceport, which takes like 60 turns. And then you got to launch a thing to the moon, and then you got to launch 3 things to Mars. And God damn it!
So, have you tried being a warmongering asshole yet?
That's even worse.
Really?
Because then you have to slowly take over everybody's cities, trying to get over hills and forests and into positions and move your siege weapons into place, and do this for every single city in the game.
Got it.
Every single one. So, like, a domination victory is probably one of the more tedious ones. Second only to religious. Because, God damn it, in order for a religious victory in that game, you need to, I think, have 50% of followers in all nations worshiping your religion. But, like, there are constantly tons of units from other civilizations pushing back at you for that. So you have to, like, send missionaries and apostles and inquisitors all over the map, constantly trying to push back. And if you ever stop for any reason, you'll lose your momentum. It's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever tried, and I will never try it again. Because you have to like send it to like other civilizations, which are like all the way across the map, and it takes like 20 turns just to get there.
Other civilizations, as in other nations, not
other nations. Yeah,
really. How did they handle it before?
Like what? There was no religious victory.
Yeah, so I think that's new.
It is new.
Oh, was it? Oh,
yeah. There was religion in the previous one, but there was no religious victory
conditions for. Okay.
Yeah. So I thought I'd try this and give it a shot, and I'm never trying it again. I might not even play this anymore. I haven't come out of this once feeling like I enjoyed playing it.
How much did you drop on it?
Like $20. I think it was half off.
Okay.
Or like 60%, I forget.
Is the multiplayer still a clusterfuck?
I mean, it's multiplayer Civ. It's going to take forever.
I know, but like that doesn't matter if it's fun and you have people to play with.
I believe it's asynchronous as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh God.
I mean, if
that
it
was
like
my next question.
Yeah, it kind of has to be.
Yeah.
Can you just save your shit and resume later?
Sure. The good luck getting a bunch of people to agree to play Civilization for a few hours.
Stick with you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Good luck with that. Shit.
You got better luck getting a D&D campaign together.
Exactly.
And that's infinitely more satisfying.
And it's better. And it's more fun.
Absolutely.
So, no, I'm not playing Civ multiplayer. I did do that.
So let me ask you this, Joe. Do you think you've outgrown Civ? Because I remember the last time you've played, God, was it Beyond Earth?
Yeah, I kind of like Beyond Earth.
Oh, I thought you didn't.
No, everybody else didn't.
Ah, okay.
I don't know what it was. Like that one kind of
space.
Yeah, space. Like I understand. You know, the thing is, I understood that one. You know, and I understand. I played Civ 6 enough to understand it. That I've done, but I don't think I like it.
Okay. And
I'm told it's a lot better with an expansion, but those expansions are like $30
more than the base game.
And I'm like, not yet.
No,
like absolutely not. So. So I had to repair my controller or buy a new one. So I actually tried to buy a new one first.
I love our long round of how we got to this.
Yep. God damn it. Continue the theme from last week.
I wanted to talk about my gaming experiences before I talked about this. So I had to replace my Pro controller. So I tried to buy a new one, and they're sold out like everywhere. So then I'm like, you know what? If I need a new one, if this one's totally shot, and I can't get it to work, then I'm just going to try to open it up anyway and see what I can do, right? So I bought a bunch of tools to open up here's my Pro controller, right? So I looked up a tutorial how to do this, and I have to take the first thing I have to do is take off these grips, right? And I got one of them off. And by the time I got to try to get to the other one, I had completely stripped the screw head. So I could not get that tiny screw out. So I don't know if the camera will pick this up. Do you see that? How that is right there?
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
No, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
So I had
nothing
more.
There's nothing more demoralizing than a strip screw.
I chipped away at the outside of this grip try to wedge up the screw, right? And it didn't work. So I put it down for a day. I was real disappointed, and I was really upset because I couldn't even get the thing open to try to repair it. I was stuck on the grip. So I think it was. I was staring at it was after midnight on Saturday. Or was it Friday? It was Friday, I think. Yeah, it was Friday. It was after midnight on Friday. And I'm staring at these games. I'm staring at Risk of Rain. I'm staring at Civilization 6. And I'm like, fuck these games. So I'm like, I'm not giving up. So I found this.
There you go.
This, what did you even call this?
It's not quite a needle-nose pliers, but it's sort of like that.
Something
for our
like
audio
that.
listeners.
Yeah.
It's like a tweezer / needle-nose pliers.
It's like some really scary looking tweezers.
Yeah, like some shit you see in a horror movie.
Yep, it is. So
it looks like it peels off fingernails.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like.
Yes, I think that's what it's meant for. So I grabbed the screw with this thing, and rotated it out of the grip.
That's right,
and it came out.
Good shit.
And I was like, "Fuck yes."
I didn't know the screw, so I was initially going to suggest the tweezer when you put it in our chat, but I didn't know if the screw had enough slack for you to actually get to it.
Yeah, it was like very small.
Gotcha.
It's good that I actually chipped away at the grip, the bottom of the grip, the screw hole.
That way you're able to get a grip. I was able to
actually get to it. Yeah. So I got that open and put the screws into a compartment of my toolkit. And then there is like another set of 4 screws you got to take out to get the battery panel off. And it's like a translucent, like this thing over here. This is translucent.
Okay.
You actually see the battery behind it.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah.
So you take that panel off, you get the battery out, and then is supposed to be the hard part. There's 3 screws that are in like really deep hollow cylinders, right? There's like a column that these things just fall into, and I had to, like, even as tiny as my screwdriver is, I had to angle my screwdriver such a way that it would fit into the hole and still be able to slightly twist it out. And I had to do this without stripping the screw head, mind you, because I was very careful after that first one.
Yeah, you have to be
very, very careful.
Yeah.
Right. So I got this out. I got them all out somehow. It took like an hour to do this. I carefully put the screws into my tool case. Yep. Pulled apart the Pro Controller carefully, such that I didn't want to disconnect the ribbon.
Yep.
Because if I did that,
that's a wrap.
Not necessarily, but
it's. You might come up with my 3DS situation.
Right. But I might miss reattaching it, and if it didn't work, I'd have to reopen it.
Yep.
And that's not something I wanted to do. So I open it up, and I see right under this part, the left analog stick, right around here, it's like this big white particle. I wish I took pictures of it. I don't know what it was. I just took my compressed air, blew it away. It flew off into whatever, and I'm like, whatever that was, it's gone. Sprayed it with compressed air, put some contact cleaner on it, let it dry off, right? And while that was happening, L2 had popped out.
Okay.
L2 had popped out. Not too bad, except there's a tiny metal bar that holds it in place that also fell out with it.
Oh, no.
So I had to look for the tiny metal bar on the floor.
When did you realize that it had a tiny metal bar?
When it fell out.
Okay, all right.
When it fell out. And eventually found this tiny metal bar, right? And while the controller was drying, I said, okay, let me try to reattach this and try to hold the controller such that I wouldn't disconnect the ribbon.
Yep.
Have a good position. So I turned the controller and to try to get a better position where I can put the button back in, and it knocks my toolkit on the carpet.
Oh no!
With the screws.
You
know what I was going to ask you? I was going to ask if you did the Scotch tape trick.
Where I put the screws in the Scotch tape?
Yes.
It's not a bad plan.
I do it because that same thing happened to me once, and I was like, I will never go through this again.
Yep. You learned that lesson.
And after this, Joe will never do that again.
So one disaster after the other.
Uh-huh.
One disaster after the other. So I'm on the floor in like a dark corner of where like my dresser is meeting the rug.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like sliding my hand across the floor looking for anything that feels remotely metallic. Picking up like dust,
glass.
Dirt. No. Discarded food.
A pizza.
An entire pizza? Sure. Entire pizza. It was filthy. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
It took me an hour and a half to find all 7.
Jesus. Oh my God.
But I found it.
Jesus.
I found it, and I promptly put it in a place where I would not knock it down. I couldn't possibly knock it down on top of another tray. And I dropped the button with the bar again.
And then you went to bed.
No. I couldn't go to bed like that, man. I couldn't.
I get that.
No. Eventually, I found everything. Put it all back together. Putting that bar back on the button was far easier than I expected. It was really relief for that. It's carefully put everything back together. You know, it was cleaned out. It was dried off from the contact cleaner. Twirled in the screws with
not screwed in
with the death grip vise on the grips. You know, the batteries are kind of a pain in the neck to get in. The panel they click back together, really satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, the grips are a little loose for obvious reasons. But it works perfectly.
Yay!
Works perfectly.
I'm glad that story ended up with a better conclusion than my 3DS story.
You know,
it ended with Theo buying a 2DS.
Every time I drop something on the floor, I'm like sitting there staring at that upside down toolkit on the rug, and I'm like, that's a $70 mistake.
Yeah. Yep.
And it certainly felt like $70 worth of work.
So what are we going to do next time we take something apart with tiny screws?
Not strip the screw head.
That's good too.
Yeah. Use tape.
There you go. Yeah, tape. That's a good call.
Tape or mat. Like I had them all compartmentalized. You know,
I know.
Put them into different.
Yeah. You're like, really, this is good.
Safe. Mm-hmm. It's safe.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about.
Because it initially takes time when you have to take it out and stick it on the screw, but you save so much time in case you have to look for these fucking screws.
Yeah.
Dude, I lost a piece of. So these action figures have removable hands, right?
Okay.
And so I'm gonna try and you'll see that joint there.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah. One of my Spider-Men has a ball joint that for some reason you can remove the half of the ball joint, right?
Oh boy.
So it's a tiny red little itty bitty fucking piece, right? And I had already discovered another toy was missing a piece that day, right? And I was already like, oh, okay. And I was in the process of looking like, maybe there's something on this toy that can maybe replace on that one or something. You know, maybe I can or can substitute if I need to do it for photography reasons. So it's like I can just take it off that thing. As I was doing that, that piece popped off onto the maroon rug. The joint's red, by the way, because it's a Spider-Man toy. And I'm just like, oh my God. And already because I have already lost this other piece that I'm heartbroken about.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my God, what am I? So I hands and knees all day, for an hour on this rug. Couldn't find it. I was so upset. I actually went to bed on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
I couldn't have done that.
I had to because I was so angry. I was gonna just throw all my toys away. I was I was getting so angry. I didn't want to be in the room anymore.
Yeah.
So I came back in literally a week later. I'm like, okay, I know it's in here. I know it's in here because it didn't evaporate, right? Hands and knees. And I fucking found it.
Oh, man.
And when I saw that thing on, you motherfucker.
You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
So one of the things I found when I was looking for any parts that may have dropped on the floor, because mind you, I've never opened one of these things. I had no idea what the after the button fell out. So you know how on a can of compressed air, there's a tab like right up
Yes.
there. The clip off that you use to
with the straw in and stuff like that.
Yeah, so you can actually spray it on stuff. Yeah. I found that clip that breaks off, and I'm like, what is this?
What was I doing before that this is this loud?
No, I'm like, where does this go in the controller?
Oh no.
Oh. What color was it?
It was the same color.
Oh no!
The same color black. And I'm like, oh boy.
That's horrible.
Okay, I'm like, I'll try to get this on without it.
Yeah.
And then I'll find out what's missing, right? And then I'm looking at me. And then I'm staring at it for a little bit. I'm like, that's the thing that clips off the compressor. So I found a superfluous piece that I thought, this was a nightmare.
It sounds like a nightmare.
There are two musings I have with this story. The first one being that when you open something like this, you kind of understand why it's so expensive.
Yeah. Yep.
You're like, oh, something had to put all of this tiny stuff together. Obviously, it's a machine, but it's so much different parts, so much moving parts. You're like, yeah, okay, I get why the Pro Controller is $70.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't like that it's $70, but I get it.
Yeah. Versus like the iBuffalo.
Yeah.
Which is just like some buttons and a circuit board.
I could open that and I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
And I'm a moron when it comes to this shit.
So you're like, all right, whatever. The second
That's
thing
not true. I could probably figure stuff out, honestly, if I look at it.
You could. Absolutely.
There's so much resources out there that you
Yeah. Like
I just fear that stopping you.
I'm terrified because I have sausage hands and like
that's fair.
and they're not always as steady as I want them to be.
Magnets are your best friend when dealing
not when you're working with electronics.
Yeah.
Well, not strong magnets, obviously.
Well, still, magnets when you're working with electronics are your worst enemy.
Oh, I know.
The second thing, is that your only controller for PC?
No.
Okay.
I still have this thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't have the wire for it.
So you don't have
to order a new wire.
Yeah. Also, the reason I got a new controller in the first place is because the battery pack just stopped. It just stopped charging.
Yep. It just
do
that.
Well,
just stopped charging.
So you only have the Pro Controller then, is what I'm hearing.
I mean, that's pretty much all I need.
So I'm paranoid when it comes to controllers, and I don't want a chance where like when my controllers mess up and I'm like, well, I can't play anything.
I know, you're right because look.
I have 5 PlayStation 4 controllers.
So this is iBuffalo number 2. Mm-hmm. This is iBuffalo number 3.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. So all right, and like stored away somewhere is my old fight pad.
Okay.
The Fight Commander 4 thing.
The original.
Yeah, the other one. So here's my current Fighting Commander.
Okay.
And
I have a second one now too. Just
ordered the backup.
I just ordered one recently too. While they're still $40, I'm like, let me get this now.
Yeah,
because they're starting to. Because they're going out of production soon.
Well, there's hopefully whatever they're following with will be just as good.
Yeah, hopefully.
I am paranoid when it comes to control. I'm looking at 5 controllers right now.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's just for my PC.
Yeah.
The iBuffalo's for $40. It was 20 when I got the first one. The Fighting Commanders was $40. This Pro Controller is $70.
Yep.
I'm not going to have a backup for this. It's either going to work or not.
Yeah.
And
also emergency.
Yeah.
Also, emergency switch control. You could just use the Joy-Cons. Like it's okay.
Yeah.
Like the Switch.
But he's using it for his
itself.
PC, so
yeah. He's using
that's actually why I bought the. I don't know if I told you guys the. Oh yeah, I did. The MC Magic. I think it is. Where it's like a dongle you plug in back of your Switch and you could use any other controller.
I bought one of those too.
Yeah, so I was like, if this Pro Controller messes up, I'm not buying another $70 Pro Controller, so I'm gonna use the Xbox pad if I need to.
The thing about PC controllers, and you guys have PS4s. You have functional controllers that work on your PCs.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
Like this is what I chose to use. This is what I like. I like this controller.
It's a great controller.
I love the D-pad.
It's amazing.
I like the way it feels. The buttons are Nintendo buttons and the position
always feel
correctly.
Yep.
Last week it didn't work. This week it works.
That's probably my favorite controller ever.
It's great. It's a great
controller.
I wish it had headphone jack.
Yes.
That's the only thing that's missing, but other than that, I think it's a fantastic.
I am actually really happy it does not have a headphone jack.
I can see why.
One less thing to worry about if you open it up.
Well, that's besides that. The headphone jack comes with a whole host of problems when you plug it into your PC. Yeah,
I know.
100%.
Oh, I'm aware. I learned that the hard way.
For like 2-3 years, the PS4 controller was a mess on PC.
I know.
A mess.
Because it was detecting the mic on the controller.
Yep, exactly. Yeah.
I know. Oh, no, I found out the hard way. I know.
Yeah. So, yeah. I'm glad you got your controller working.
Me too. I was so relieved.
Happy ending.
Yeah, happy ending.
Thank God.
Yeah. Rarely do I get a happy ending, but there you go.
Huzzah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nope.
Chris.
Hey.
What you got for us?
So I'm still going through Undertale.
Okay.
Where am I? I'm fighting the killer computer part.
Each time.
The second fight.
Gotcha.
There's always a killer computer in an RPG.
Every single one.
Every time. And
especially an off-kiltered RPG, yeah.
This one might be the best one. It might be my favorite.
It's really good.
It's really great.
Yeah.
I hung out with Undyne.
Okay. You're doing a pacifist playthrough.
Yeah, I'm doing a pacifist. So
gotcha.
So I hung out with Undyne. I don't know how I'm going to be able to kill these people later, man. You were right, Joe. This was a bad idea, playing the pacifist run first.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting really attached to all these characters because so many.
I haven't played this game, but I've seen enough playthroughs to know.
Dude,
you just kill them first.
I'm going to say this. Even though it's not, to me, this isn't the greatest thing that's ever been made.
Yeah.
I see how somebody could play this game and see it like that. Because this game has that charm and that feel combined with I think, one of the greatest video game soundtracks I have ever heard. All kind of wrapped into one package, being something that touches you emotionally for the first time. Like, if the first video game that hit you on an emotional level, I could see why this game changed so many people. Like, why this game is what it is for so many other people. Because you're just like, oh, I get it now. You know, it's that same feeling I got when I played my first Final Fantasy, when I first played Final Fantasy 4. Or, you know, like I kind of understand.
So I was actually going to mention that it is a lot of people's first Earthbound type of game. Where
like this is I think that's like the Final Fantasy 7 of the generation.
It is. I liken it more to FF7.
Yeah. Where it is something completely different.
Yes.
And where you walk away from it like, oh, I can't stop thinking about that game.
Yep. Yeah.
I completely
and it changes you.
That.
Like it literally changes a part of you forever. Like, and I'm happy for people because the game is great. So I'm happy for them that they actually have like a really good, solid game to hold on to that I think will age well too for what it is.
Yeah.
So, right, Chris, I don't mean to interrupt you. I have a guest.
Oh, you got a Smokey? Hey, Smokey! What up, Smokey? Cat tax. More cat on camera, bro. Absolutely.
All right. Well, is.
Pat and Wooly are crushing it right now because of Zangief, so go for it.
All right. Well, there's the cat cam. I just felt like something brush up against my leg.
No, that was the right move.
Yep. Okay.
That was absolutely the right move. Smokey,
when something brushes up against your leg, do you ever like wonder what it is?
No, I know it's my cat.
You know it's your cat.
All right. I just want to, because you made it sound like something brushed up against my leg. And I was trying to figure out what it was. Okay.
By the way, I'm like kind of like exposing myself here because like.
Whatever, man. It's your bed. Yeah. Who cares? It looks like a bed, Joe. It looks like a bed that you didn't make today. It's okay.
Smokey's like, yo, get me off the camera, man.
Yeah. He's not being photogenic, so
it's fun. It's fun. He's a cute ass cat. I know he's cute.
Yeah.
So that's what's up. But yeah, like I can definitely see why people like adore this game the way they do. Like, oh my god, it actually makes me happy too when I'm playing it. Like this, I can't wait to get to that last boss. But so also. I started playing Mega Man ZX.
Okay, those are Metroidvanias.
I stared at my ZX collection, my Zero ZX collection, and I started Mega Man 01, and I'm like, I'm not in the mood for this one right now.
Yeah.
I just wasn't in the mood for it.
Also, 01's about to end, so.
Yes. And what the fuck, by the way? Oh
right?
My god. Can we have a minute? Like, we're not going to talk spoilers here, but
no, after recording, we'll talk.
Oh my god, what is happening? Anyways, like, That month off is weird now. It's extra weird. Because that show, it's almost like turned into a different show within weeks.
Good.
It's awesome. I love it.
I love when that happens in my Kamen Rider.
Yeah. Me too. It's so good.
So ZX, Mega Man ZX. Yeah.
So Mega Man ZX. Fuck, I still love this game. This game is fucking great. Steel feels so fucking good to play. Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
So I think the trick is to I'm told to not go into that game expecting a good Metroidvania.
No, it's a Mega Man game. It's still a Mega Man game. It's not a Metroidvania. It is Mega Man with a Metroidvania map.
Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
With a bad Metroidvania map.
That's what
map,
I'm told.
The map isn't bad. The map display is bad.
Yes. Yeah.
Chris, you played the Bloodstained one, the proper one, right?
A little bit of it. A little bit of it, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the demake. Yes, yeah. The
original? Not the demake, the one that was
Circle
planned.
of the Night.
Bloodstained, the Ritual of the Night.
I played a little bit of it. My save date is gone, so I have to start over. But I was at the very beginning. I hadn't even gotten to Zangetsu yet. Like,
surprised me you haven't played that.
It still shocks me that I beat that before you.
Yeah. I know, me too. You know, I don't know what it is. I just really wanted to play some fucking Mega Man. That's all it was. That's all it was. Like,
I get that.
It was
sometimes that just hits you, man.
Yeah, because I was staring at Ritual of the Night, not Ritual of the Night. Curse, whatever the fucking the second one.
Curse of the Moon 2.
Curse of the Moon 2, right? And I was like, I don't want to play this right now. And I looked at my PS4. It's like, I don't want to deal with you right now. And I thought, I was like, you know what? And Tim was over because Tim, oh, by the way, was delivering a computer and this.
That 960.
Yeah.
That GeForce the 900 series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Still to this day.
It's I know it's two gens behind. I don't care. It'll run all the things I need.
It's the 900 series, man. You'll be fine.
I think graphics cards are the way they are now because of the 900 series.
Yes.
Because it was so good that they were like, okay, we can't make a graphics card this good anymore. Let's kind of shit it up. It's like cell phones. Like, let's kind of like make the shelf life a little shorter so people will actually fucking buy it next time.
Yeah, like that's what I was told. Everyone's like, oh yeah, 960, you're good.
Fine.
Yeah, you're just fine.
Especially you're not looking for the highest fidelity stuff. So you're playing stuff like high, ultra, 60, depending on the game.
Yeah, Joe told me I can run ultra up to like games in like 2015.
Yep.
And I'm like,
later.
That's probably fine. Like, I don't care. Like, whatever. That sounds great.
My graphics card is on the same hierarchy as that, and I'm running Resident Evil 4. I'm not Resident Evil 4. Sorry, I'm Resident Evil 2 Remake, 120 frames.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds like I'll be fine.
No problem.
If you're not doing like 4K, 120 FPS, you need like a better card for that. But like,
I don't care though. I don't give a fuck. Like,
and a lot of times, like your CPU will bottleneck it anyway. So as long
pretty
as
much,
the CPU, totally fine.
Well, I think this is going into Franken computer, right?
Yeah, this is gonna be a Franken computer.
Right. So if you're gonna upgrade your video card, you'll probably need a whole new box.
Yeah. Well, this didn't come in that one. We have a pretty good casing. I don't know what the brand is or whatever, but it looks good. It's got a bunch of good shit.
I don't know what brand my case is.
Me either. I think it's a Corsair.
It's a box that holds my stuff.
It's a box that holds my shit. It has a disk drive, which I wanted, which I was happy about. As I know everyone's like, what, disk drive? I'm like, I still kind of wanted
I'm super weird. I was just talking to my friend the other day. Like, he's building a computer, right? And he, like, me and my other friend, we're pretty good at computer stuff.
Yeah.
And my other friend was like, don't get a thing with a disk drive. And I was like, just get one, man.
Yeah. Get one.
It's I don't use my disk drive, but I just still want it.
I use it. Do you know why I use it? Because that's how I play my PlayStation games.
Seriously, like,
fair enough.
I will need this at some point. Yeah. I know like, dude, for what we do on the gaming end of things.
Yeah.
I ripped my
Wii games from my obviously Wii disc onto
it's necessary for
game preservation.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's necessary.
You want to play a PS2 or PSX game?
And honestly, I really love physical media still. So that's just.
I'm starting to move away from it, but I still have things that from that era that I want to use, and it's not. It's like a $30 drive.
If that's an expensive drive. If you can.
I mean, you got a nice one.
Yeah, it doesn't. If it's a Blu-ray drive, it doesn't take up any. It just barely takes up any space. If it's not there, something is missing from the front panel.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks weird to me. Peter looks weird without it. I'm like,
you know who doesn't look weird? Look who doesn't look weird.
Smokey. Yeah, there you go, facing the camera.
Yeah.
Cat tax.
There you go.
What's up, Smokey?
Hello.
Oh, this is the thumbnail.
That's the picture.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
Oh yeah.
All
That's
right.
the thumbnail. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Smokey, you're on camera. Say something clever, Smokey. Hey, Smokey.
Oh, he's squinting at you. Means he loves you.
Yep. Yeah. Who was the emperor of China in the 1940s? Sometimes he says it. It's funny.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. I'll take your word for it.
Not this time, though.
Not this time.
Sounds 100% believable.
He knows.
Though, don't worry.
He knows.
He knows.
Yeah, he knows.
He knows.
Yeah.
He knows. He knows.
Just go ahead and say it with me. Meow. Meow. Meow.
Yeah. Okay. So Tim came over, dropped off that shit, and we were talking Mega Man, and I was like, "Bro, have you played ZX yet?" And he's like, "No." He started Mega Man. I think he started Mega Man 01, and I was like, "He's like, what's ZX on the storyline?" So I was like, "Okay." So I explained to him the Mega Man timeline, and he was like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I showed him the beginning part where you get the Biometal X, and then you get the Z and all that shit, and he's like, "This is fucking cool." I'm like, "Yeah." You're like, you were essentially a Kamen Rider Mega Man in this game. It's the best thing ever. Complete with the henshin pose and everything. It's the fucking best.
Oh, did you tell him how Mega Man was X5 destroyed the world?
Yep. Oh, he knows. Okay. Well, that's Tim's favorite X game.
Okay.
X5. Right. He loves X5. X5 followed very closely by 1 and 4. But yeah, so I showed him the upscaled anime cutscenes. Because they didn't take the compressed ones. They got the actual ones and put them on the collection.
I didn't know that.
That's
great.
Dude. And as I said, 0 input lag. 0.
Yeah, the whole collection is actually very good in that aspect.
When I stare at this collection, right, and I sit here and I'm like, Konami, I know you don't give a shit, but all you have to do, you just do exactly what they did. Because the way the setup is, I noticed, so the way the setup for 0 for ZX is, they have the DS screen, right? You can put it in the corner, and the screen will be in a box, and you'll have a little bit of wallpaper right there, so it can be in the right corner or the left corner. And I switch it depending on what side of the couch I'm sitting on. So that way it doesn't, fuck with me a little bit, so it actually, helps the perspective. And I really think that's a fucking
if I'm not mistaken, I think it has a Tate mode also.
I think it does, yeah.
Which is actually fucking cool if you're playing on a monitor and you could just flip your monitor.
Yeah, dude, that collection is thrown together with some serious love, and it has the entire art book in there too.
Yeah.
All of it's in there.
So you said something really important about Konami. You said that they don't care, but they should do that.
I know. Well, I just hope
their IPs are pachinko IPs now.
Dude.
Yeah.
I would pay $60 for all 3 GBA games and all the DS games in one package on the Switch.
Okay.
In a heartbeat. $60, no problem. Wouldn't even bat an eye if it was done as well as this collection.
It's worth it just for the Sorrow games.
Just for Sorrow games alone. Yeah. And the other 2 incredible DS games. The other 2 are the greatest Castlevania games ever made. Yeah.
What else, Theo? What happened, Theo? Where'd you go?
I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Boy. Okay.
Gotcha. Cool. So yeah, man. That was playing this collection. I was just kind of sitting there okay, I hope they do that one day. That's my hope. I know it will never happen, but I can pray. Now I can dream.
I mean,
about it.
Yeah. Well,
I know.
I don't think Konami is.
Really, I mean, yeah. That Castlevania collection sold pretty well, apparently.
Okay.
So they might be huh. And one thing that was really cool about that Castlevania collection, which I also played a couple weeks ago randomly, I played through.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. I played through Bloodlines and I played through the Super Castlevania 4, right? One thing that's really neat, even though I'm not a stickler for this sort of thing, they have pixel perfect display. So there's no shift of pixels. So you're literally playing a perfect emulation of the game with 0 input lag.
Okay.
That Castlevania collection was excellent, So I'm there's some hope that now we have a way of putting DS games on the system, right? So even if Konami doesn't do it, maybe Nintendo's streaming service can do that. and I would be on board.
We go back to the cloud gaming discussion.
But it works for old games. Because I was playing Donkey Kong Country recently, Joe, no problems whatsoever streaming that shit.
Okay.
If it's just a streaming service, it is. It's streamed.
Is it?
Yes.
Huh. I figured it was just downloaded onto the app.
Maybe it is. I'm not sure. I have to double check.
Yeah,
I was under the impression that those games were streamed.
No, I don't believe it.
Okay.
But maybe.
I don't believe in cloud gaming.
Yeah, that's fair. But if it's a way to play these games, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, so that gave me hope for that one day, which will hopefully never happen. But I'm setting myself up for that disappointment where it never ends up actually happening.
I mean, it's Castlevania, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's either gonna rot or it's going to morph.
Or they're gonna release the old ones.
Yeah.
So I also picked up. I managed to find Ring Fit Adventure.
Hey, you got it,
Theo. Yo, you weren't kidding.
Ha ha! Yeah, right.
Kicked my ass, dude.
The first world, you're like, this is nothing.
Honestly, dude, I was sore after the first world.
Yeah.
After the first couple stages, like when you do that first, bro. Afterward, I was like, oh my god, my ass hurts. Like I think I pulled something on my arm. Like it was horrible, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, because I haven't done much exercise since quarantine. You know.
That's why this thing is selling out because
dude, it's incredible.
It's so good.
It's incredible. I cannot believe how fun it is.
Yeah.
How good it is for you. Like Claire did a little bit yesterday too. We both took turns doing it the first day.
Yeah.
And like I was watching her sweat through it, and I'm like, oh, I can do this shit.
I legitimately think
it's hard. Probably.
I legitimately think it's one of the best games to come out in the last like 10 years.
You know what I think? I think this is the way gymnasiums are going to be in the future.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This is a preview of VR with decent peripherals.
Yeah.
For dude, that ring is incredible.
It has resistance on it, man.
Joe, it's blew my mind. Like I was not ready for this, and I heard Theo talk about it. I'm like, okay, but it's not real till you do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's just how that goes.
The writing is incredible. I know you don't care about that in a fitness.
No, it's fun. It's fun. It's silly, but it's fun.
It draws you in.
It draws you in enough.
It's meant to draw you in. So
it draws you in, and it's silly.
It's exercise. You know, how do they get you to do exercise? They draw you in with something fun, and
give you experience and everything. It is.
You unlock more exercises as you go along too.
Yeah, and you can set it as your skill and stuff. It's unbelievable. It is a phenomenal game.
I was blown away. I'm so happy. I'm so happy I got a copy.
Super happy. Did you connect online?
Yes, I think so. Cool. I had to double check, but yeah, you
should be able, like, because now it's like basically leaderboards where you can see your friends, progress.
Try to challenge each other.
This motherfucker did more planks than me. No.
Yeah, dude, I'm really happy I picked. I couldn't believe how much fun it was.
It's super awesome.
I kind
of slacked on it for a while because I hurt my shoulder at work, so I'm like,
dude, bro, I pulled. I definitely I didn't hurt myself bad, but I pulled something, bro. I'm gonna get back on it tomorrow, but because we first did it on Saturday or Friday, and I'm still a little sore from it. It's crazy. It kicked my ass.
Them later. And what's awesome about it, every time you boot it up, you do the stretches. They're like, okay, we've seen that you handled the previous world. Okay, you want to pump up the difficulty? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And then knocked it up 2 levels. I was like, all right, can we
yeah, we gotta go back. Bro,
it was rough,
dude. I only exercised for 15 minutes, but I was sweating.
Yeah,
it was. I couldn't believe it. It was awesome. Awesome. Yeah. I 10 out of 10. Can't recommend. So good, and it's
really good.
It's really fun. It's silly, and it's good exercise on top of that. It's fucking miracle.
And if you don't want to do the RPG, I mentioned before, if you don't want to do the RPG stuff,
they
you
have
can just do
a
custom.
They have quick play
workout
options. Yeah, it's incredible. It's just, I cannot recommend it enough. I also bought I saw it for cheap on eBay because I realized Capcom's never going to put this fucking thing on sale. And I'm a puppet. So I bought a physical copy of Ultra Street Fighter 2.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Ultra Street Fighter 2 for the PS3.
No,
the Switch.
The Switch version.
Oh
no, the one that I was like, they out of their minds. $40. Sold 500,000 units. I'm like, guess I'm the asshole.
It's gonna be $40 for
$40 forever. Never on sale. I think I saw it on sale once, and I'm like, 27. I don't know if I want to pay for that. Well, guess how much I paid for it?
$40?
No, I didn't pay $40. After shipping, it was $30.
Okay,
but I saw the eBay listing was 22 for a physical copy, and I'm like, you know what? Okay.
And you know what? You have a physical copy.
Yeah, that's why I did. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. It was good. It works fine. That game is broken. It's so much fun. There's even a mode that you can play in first person as Ryu. I haven't played it yet.
Person. That's right. I forgot.
Where you do Hadouken motions.
Oh, it's
with the Joy-Cons.
I thought it was a 3DS version for some reason.
No,
the Street Fighter 4.
No, you can play Street Fighter 4 in first person on the 3DS version.
Oh, right. Okay, all right. Because I was like, I could have sworn that was in another game. Okay, yeah.
What a ridiculous game.
It's so insane.
It's so silly.
And it has the HD remix sprites, which are beautiful. Although I gotta say, God, the remixes are mostly fucking terrible. The music is it's some of the worst Street Fighter 2 remixes I have ever heard. I was like, ooh, these are bad. I put it on the original sound. I'm like,
Yeah.
But the good thing is the sounds are the Street Fighter 4 voice actors. So
okay.
Oh, okay.
No Guile, Sonic Boom. Like none of that shit.
Sonic Boom.
Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom.
It was so much better in World Warrior.
Oh. Sonic Boom.
Sonic Boom.
It's the best.
Sonic Boom.
Yeah, that's fucking perfect. So yeah, I played a lot of Ultra Street Fighter 2 because that shit is so broken. Like, dude, you can pick Shin Akuma in that game too.
Not only two air fireballs in Street Fighter 2.
Oh yeah, 2 air fireballs in Street Fighter 2, and you can just combo them together. You can do 100% combo like with your eyes closed with Shin Akuma.
Wow.
Like it is stupid. With Ryu, Evil Ryu and Violent Ken do so much damage. They can juggle. They have the most absurd hurricane kick juggles into Shoryukens into super. Like you can 100% combo anyone.
This is not Street Fighter 2 anymore.
No, but it's something else, and I don't care.
There's no juggles in Street Fighter 2.
Oh, there are when you're Akuma.
There's no juggles in Street Fighter 2.
Have you brought it online yet?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
That's how I found out about them juggles.
Oh no, I was doing the juggling in one player.
No, yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh no, bro, I learned. And I played a guy. I picked regular Ryu. I'm like, okay, let's see if we can not start with total savagery.
Yeah.
You know, like we don't have to go crazy. And it's got a newer lobby system, so you get 3 matches no matter what, which is cool, which I'm a fan of.
Mm-hmm.
So I picked regular Ryu, and he picked Ken, like plain old Ken, right? And I beat him pretty handily. That fucker immediately switched over to Violent Ken. I was like, oh, okay, here we go.
Here we go. It's fun.
I still beat him with Ryu. Right? And then afterwards, we played each other. And then he stopped being a savage and went back to a regular character. And then we challenged again, and I bumped into that guy again, and we had a couple good matches after. But it was funny because it's like, it's always a wonder of like, who's going to pull the gun out first?
Yeah.
You know? It's like, okay. It's like Gil being playable in online Third Strike. You're like, okay, we don't need to do this, man.
Right.
You just have to pick a regular
character. Is he really that broken in that game? Because these
Gil?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Joe, he has chip on his normals.
Okay.
Chip on his normals. His recovery frames are. He has faster. He's like Urian, but he recovers twice as fast as Urian.
Okay.
And his damage output is absolutely psychotic. He is a better character than Shun and Yun.
Okay.
So
that's all I needed to know.
Yes, he is better than the top 3 characters in the game. Yes.
Okay.
If you're ranking the 20 characters in Third Strike, Gil is number 1.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So that was fun. Ultra Street Fighter 2, Ring Fit Adventure, fucking Undertale. Switch is getting a lot of love right now. Getting a ton of love. Played anything else? I was playing a little bit of just Alien Swarm. You guys actually, if you guys want to jump in on some points with that,
let me know when you're doing that because I own that game.
Yeah,
Alien
it's
Swarm
believe
is
so.
still a thing?
Huh?
Alien Swarm is still a thing?
Still gets campaign updates, Joe.
I was hooked on that game for a solid month not when it came out, but a little after it came out. I was like, yeah, this game is fucking awesome.
I added the pulse rifle noise as a mod from Aliens, and the game just immediately shot up even more to me.
It's like, remember that time? Oh my god, did I ever tell you about the time I modded TF2 to make the heavy weapons guy minigun sound like Kenshiro from
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh, that was great.
That sounds amazing. I mean, it's
like, it was like, it has like a wind up noise and a shooting noise. It's like winds up. It's like, and they start shooting. It's like.
Also, speaking of Kenshiro, I have such an urge to watch Fist of the North Star right now. Oh my god! Like it hit me the other day. I was like, "Oh, I really want to watch."
You know what's wild?
I think it's on Hulu.
Before.
I think it's on Hulu.
Never watched it.
It's on Hulu.
It's all on Hulu. Watch it.
It's on Hulu.
I'm not gonna say it holds up.
It doesn't.
In some ways, it. You know what it is? Because it's such a fucking progenitor of things that we love. You will enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's like you look at that, and you're like, "Oh, that's
I know
all that shit came from."
I know through osmosis, so like. I know I'm gonna watch it and be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is.
You could like see the derivative works in the original.
Yeah.
You can see, oh, that's where this thing came from.
Yeah, like so much of Street Fighter owes to Fist of the North Star. It's crazy.
Street Fighter, Dragon Ball,
like,
JoJo is just a straight up rip
It's
off.
just Kenshiro but weirder.
Yeah,
it's just Hokuto no Ken but weirder. Like
we all have anime to Mel Gibson.
Yep. And Bruce Lee.
Okay, that's a sentiment. I kind of wish he was doing podcast titles. Quotes. We owe anime to Mel Gibson. We owe anime to Jesus.
Right? We owe anime to Mel Gibson and Bruce Lee. That's it.
I mean, yeah, Bruce Lee, I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, Bruce Lee was an actual anime, anime character in real life.
Kenshiro is literally a fusion of Mel Gibson and Bruce Lee.
It's exactly what he is.
It's exactly what he is.
The creator didn't hide that.
Right? No.
So it's just anime Mad Max.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's just Bruce Lee and Mad Max land. That's all.
Okay.
Cool. That's great.
Yeah, cool. That does sound pretty good.
Just without Thunderdome.
Yeah. Joe.
So Tina Turner is not in this.
No, sadly no.
No, we don't need another hero.
So yeah. That's pretty much me. Not a ton of stuff, but yeah, if you guys want to play some reactive, some Alien Swarm at some point,
let me know.
I'll let you guys know because I would play with a bunch of people, and I think that shit is 8 players. So I think we can get a full squad going.
It didn't come out well. I don't think you would know, but I don't think it launched at 8.
Probably not, but
I think it was like 4 or something like that.
It is now.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
okay.
It's insane.
I've played Alien Swarm since
2012, maybe even before that.
Yeah.
Well, this one, it's Alien Swarm. I think this is the sequel.
Okay.
It's called Reactive Drop.
Okay.
But it's free. So.
Okay. Alien Swarm is always free.
Yeah, it's free. So actually,
let me check on this right now.
Yeah, that game is great, man. It takes up
I'm sure it's like
gig to download.
Digits, yeah.
Some shit
low digits.
Yeah. You can fucking do that shit while we're recording. That's fast.
Yep.
I can't stop looking at this cute motherfucker over here.
He's a cute ass cat, bro. Yeah. That's how it be.
Yep.
But so I mean that's pretty much my week. I guess any other thing else was I was catching up on Kimetsu no Yaiba.
Just stop being a weebo, man.
Demon Slayer. Well, it's called Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. So what the fuck else am I supposed to say?
Demon Slayer Yaiba.
Yeah, it's called Demon Slayer Yaiba if you want. But like that.
You liking it?
Oh, I love it. Although, the blonde dude really made me angry.
He will, and then he will not.
And then he did his thing, and I was like, oh.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah.
That's why you're a character. Cool.
Like he was unbearable. I'm sitting here, I'm like,
he's bad for a long time until he does the hot shit, and you're like,
yeah, I'm like,
I fucking deal with you.
He was only annoying for half an episode. And
then, really? I didn't like him for a long
for the first episode, but then when he did his shit, and it was like, ooh.
Probably my favorite move in that whole game. That whole anime.
So cool.
Yeah.
And he's introduced the episode before the crazy boarhead dude who I love.
Yeah, he's another monster.
Inosuke, he's crazy. I love him. He's great.
He's just powerful for no reason. Like, why is he so powerful? Like, I don't know.
He's a fucking caveman.
Yep. Of course you like him.
I love him. I mean, like, I really like Tanjiro a lot. I think Tanjiro is a great character.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Like, he's a really fantastic protagonist.
He's this new trend of compassionate shonen characters.
Yeah, that's why I like him.
Yeah.
Really, I like that he's just not like, I'm trying to fight. Like, he's got a purpose, and he's mega compassionate.
Yeah.
And I really like him a lot.
Yeah.
So that's me. Joe, watch it. It's 25 episodes. Once you're done with Naruto, it'll be you'll eat it like it's nothing.
Yeah.
and it's really good.
Well, I'm what am I, like 300 something episodes into Naruto. I'm about 40% done.
Yeah, so you're almost done.
Something like that. Yeah.
So Joe,
you're in the war now, so that's the rest of the show.
Yeah, exactly. So when you do watch this show, make sure you actually give it full attention because it's.
Yeah, I'm not gonna second monitor.
Yeah. Don't second monitor
this
show.
Naruto is not a show you pay full attention to.
No, of course not, because you don't need to.
That's just it's background noise.
10 minutes of new information every episode.
Yeah. So it's like
that.
Yeah, and if you missed it, they'll repeat it in the next episode.
Oh yeah.
So don't worry.
Yeah, they will.
Keep it to like Demon Hunter Yaiba. Like it is the most beautiful anime
it's
TV
silly.
show I have ever seen.
It
doesn't make sense.
It's flashy. I like flashy.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I'll watch
it. Yeah. It's all flash.
I'll watch it.
God.
All flash.
Like,
all right.
Very simple.
Season 1 flash.
Yes.
Yeah, season 1 flash. That's exactly it.
Exactly. So I would really recommend it for you because I know you'll like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Theodore.
Yeah. I'm gonna kind of keep this a little brief. You guys had mentioned the cloud gaming thing earlier.
Uh-huh.
It kind of reminded me that I tried the xCloud beta.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How is it?
I heard the xCloud is not as bad as the Stadia.
Not even close. I heard it's actually functional.
So the first time I tried it, it took me a little while to get it working because you have to download the permissions to go into the Game Pass, which they now unlocked for you to do the cloud stuff. So did that while I was at work, and I was like, oh, let me give this a shot, and it works incredibly well.
Oh. Okay.
So the first game I tried, I was like, oh, let me try like Gears of War 5 or something like that. Let's do something like heavy lifting.
Yeah.
And it's not the way I would play that game, but it is. I was very surprised by how well it ran.
Surprisingly functional.
Yeah, I was like, this looks incredible on my phone. It's like maybe like dropping a few frames. I was on my LTE. I wasn't even on Wi-Fi or anything like that.
Yeah, it's a you know what? It doesn't matter what the graphic settings of the game are because it's just a straight video stream.
Yeah, pretty much.
So if the video bitrate is going to be the same for everything, then that part doesn't matter. What always mattered about cloud gaming was the input latency.
Yeah. And it was totally fine.
It's not only that; it's like game ownership problems start to come up when you start talking about cloud games. So like, I really don't want to hear about the success of cloud gaming.
No, Joe, I'm fine if it's a service that enables me to play a bunch of pre-selected titles that are already there. That I do not.
That you also.
You know what? I do not.
Like it's a rental service.
I do not trust the way gaming is going. It will be the only kind of distribution platform once it solidifies and once people figure it out completely. It will be the only kind of distribution you see, and then it will be terrible.
No,
you know what it is though.
I'm with Joe on this, honestly. I agree with him.
This made me realize that this is the inevitable future. Because as I said before, I love physical media. I still love like blind Blu-rays and stuff like that. But being at work and being able to just pull up my Xbox library and just play Gears of War while I was on my lunch break, that's neat.
As long as it remains as an option and not as the default, not as the only thing.
I don't think it will be because
I really hope you're right.
There are so many pockets of the world that just does not have that infrastructure.
Can't do it. Yeah.
So like you're cutting out a segment of the audience that just cannot do this or have data caps and can't do this. So
there's too much restriction for what's required, like for just the service of actually being able to do it.
Yes.
You know, because if nobody can actually do it,
so what's the
you're
point?
not gaining anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the one that kind of gives me a little bit of hope that this won't. Like,
it should. Man, look,
it as an option. Like I'm really enjoying what Microsoft is doing for this next generation. They're like, yo, I don't care where you play our games, just play it.
Yeah,
we have games and just play this thing.
I'm gonna say this: if I understand that fear, but look at the thing that's right behind Theo.
Yeah, I know.
That's a thing.
I know.
It's still a thing.
I know, you're right.
It's actually bigger now than it's been.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Than it's ever been.
I'm getting all my favorite soundtracks now on vinyl.
Yeah.
What?
It's a thing.
2 years ago, that was not a thing at all.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
So you know what?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm gonna be one of those people playing the phonograph.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Yeah. This is
crank it, baby.
This is how we used to play music in the 30s when we couldn't afford anything.
I wasn't alive then, but But yeah, I just want to give that a quick shot. Like I tried it. It works really well with indie games. Like I tried Streets of Rage 4 and I was like, this is fucking cool.
Okay.
This is
How does it handle multiplayer?
I don't know.
That's another issue.
I don't think
suddenly there's a bunch of different inputs going in.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't. Not only do they have to like get their input sent and returned, like their inputs have to be sent and then returned to you as well.
Yeah. I would be willing to give that a shot, but I don't know as of right now. For single player stuff, I'm like, this is for it being a beta. I was like, this is pretty cool.
Okay.
It's pretty neat.
That's good to know.
Yeah, what kind of netcode does this use?
GGPO.
Is that right? I'm like, no way.
Microsoft was like, yeah, we bought GGPO.
Don't say that.
The canon.
Don't
even make that joke. Please.
I don't think they'll. I think GGPO is open source.
No, it's open source. They can't. Yeah. But like,
they
give them money.
Yeah.
They can get it.
Just roll back.
They can't own it.
Yeah, just roll back. Yeah. Like I was actually playing Killer Instinct online.
Nice.
I played a couple of matches. It was fine. Yeah.
Okay. Of course, because they knew. They were like, oh, one of our things. We want to make sure you can play this game online.
It's a Western developer. Of course, they're gonna make the online.
Yeah, they knew. Why do you think the best netcode is from Western developers?
Yeah. They're like, yeah, people don't go to each other's house and play
like,
games.
Dude, like our country's bigger and not as mountainous. So yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I'm also playing Undertale.
There you go.
I finished my neutral playthrough.
Oh shit.
Neutral playthrough.
And
that's the way to do it at first, right?
Yes. So I loaded up an old save file and I already killed some people. So I was like, well, I'm not going to do genocide because I just don't want to do that. So I was like, let me give it a neutral playthrough. That game is much shorter than I initially thought.
How long?
Yeah. I don't even want to tell you the hour count.
The only reason it's taking me a while is because Claire wants to be in the room all
night. Yeah.
She wants to see me go through it the first time.
So finished my neutral playthrough and I'm literally at the end of my pacifist playthrough.
Oh, nice.
And I get it.
Yep.
Yeah, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never played Earthbound or Mother or any other off-kiltered RPGs, but I'm not a stranger to these games. I play Nier and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I can understand when these games get a little weird and do things that aren't conventional.
Earthbound is quirky. It's not just weird. It also like has a. It's like it's a cartoon.
Yeah, it is.
Undertale?
No, Earthbound. Earthbound is
Undertale is the same thing. Yeah, Undertale is the same exact thing also.
Yeah.
And I'm playing this thing, and at first I wasn't feeling it, but then the further you get along and the further you like meet these characters and talk to them and stuff like that, I'm like, okay. And
puzzles can get a little tedious sometimes, but they're pretty easy for them.
They're super easy.
Yeah.
The part that had me was I actually, in a weird way, I likened this game a lot to The Last of Us 2.
Okay.
Where
I want to hear this.
Me too.
So I watched the entire playthrough of The Last of Us 2, and I've actually been meaning to I can't wait to talk about the game with somebody.
Watch the entire playthrough.
I'm gonna watch Claire play through it.
Yeah.
Her birthday's next week, so that's gonna be her birthday gift to herself.
Right. Her birthday is next week.
So playing this, you realize when you get further in the story, you realize that it's a story about grief. And I don't want to give more away other than that, but it is a story about characters dealing with grief and how they process it, right?
Yeah. And
The Last of Us 2 is that in a lot of ways as well. But I felt when I finished this game, I felt more strongly attached to the Undertale story and the characters. And I think that has to do with there's a lot of ways to play this game. Well, not really a lot of ways. There's 3 ways to play this game. Whereas you have The Last of Us, where this is just the one story that it's telling, and even though you don't agree with these characters, you can't really do anything about it. You're basically along for the ride.
Yeah.
But in Undertale, there are a lot of avenues where you can go and be like, okay, cool. I am super duper friends with Stans, right? But if I'm doing a certain playthrough, I might have to kill him.
Yep.
And then the repercussions from that carries over in other playthroughs, and you're like, oh wow, shit. I beat that game the first time and I couldn't stop thinking about it. And immediately went into my pacifist playthrough. And as soon as I finish the pacifist playthrough, I'm going into the genocide.
How was the pacifist playthrough after the neutral playthrough? Like,
very much the same up until the ending.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, it plays
when you confront the king. I haven't gotten to him yet, but
that's the part because they Sans kind of get to a point. I won't spoil it, but there's a point where one of the characters comes to you, like he kind of judges you, and he says like, "Hey, this is what you've done up until this point." Yeah. And it is totally different the way given how you play that game.
When in your neutral run, who did you kill?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't.
Did you kill Toriel?
Huh?
Did you kill Toriel?
No.
Okay.
I don't think anybody can do that unless it's a genocide run.
Bro, I know a bunch of people who did by accident. Like they didn't know. No, because they didn't know.
Yeah, you really don't. Like honestly, I'm playing the
Toriel's
pacifist.
most likely the person you're gonna kill first. Because I'm
playing the pacifist with a guide because a lot of those fights you just want to get out as soon as possible. And I'm like, okay, I have to kind of figure out how to spare these people because I can't keep dodging all this stuff with 20 HP. This shit is fucking hard as hell.
I know, so I'm aware. Trust me.
Yeah.
Another reason why it's taking me a little bit. That robot fight is insane right now.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Oh my god.
I don't feel as strongly as other people yet. That could possibly change by the end of my pacifist playthrough, but you
see it.
I get it.
Why.
I get it. I like I said before, I played games like this before, so I'm used to like the narrative being a little off, and you kind of like investing more of yourself into it than you would have otherwise.
And like some of the meta jokes that are in there, but that aren't like obnoxiously meta. You know? Yeah.
But if this is somebody's first one of those, then I get like the first Nier was the first one of those for me, and that's why it hit me so hard because I was like, oh shit, I didn't really know video games can do this.
Yeah.
Like tell this type of story.
Yeah.
So I completely get it.
Yeah, me too.
I said numerous times on this podcast, the first hour or so, I was like, I don't get it.
Same here.
I don't get it at all.
Same here. First hour, I'm like, oh, it's cute.
It's like kind of twee, like okay, like sure, yeah. But like getting to the end, I'm like, okay, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like who's your favorite character?
Is generic to say, but Sans.
He's pretty great.
Is so generic, but I really like him.
Honestly, I love Papyrus, man. I love.
Yeah, he's
brother,
great too.
Man.
The kid that trips is all right, also.
Claire loves Undyne. That's her favorite. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, not at all.
I don't know the cooking with her is hilarious. Like when you hang out with her.
Oh, I haven't done that yet.
Bro, go back to her house. After you fight her, you can go hang out with her. Papyrus will be like, hey, so I'm gonna bring Papyrus literally sets it up. Yeah. Walks in with you and is like, hey, so I came for training. Oh, and I have the human and I gotta go, and like jumps out the window. And you hang out with Undyne, and it's amazing.
That's good. That's pretty good.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm happy Claire's there because Claire was like, you should go back. I'm like, wait, I can? She's like, yeah. She's like, go back and hang out with Undyne. Yeah, my god, it's so good. I won't spoil anything else, but it's primo. It's great shit.
And you said it before, but the music is phenomenal. It's really good.
I think Hopes and Dreams is creeping onto my favorite, one of my favorite video game songs of all time. Like of all time. Like
Hopes and Dreams will never die,
dude. It's an incredible track.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to the emotional payoff that happens when that song plays.
When it happens, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard. I don't know. Like I don't know. I know where. I don't know why. That makes sense. I know where and when, but like, I'm curious to see what goes along with that music. So I'm very excited about it because that's an incredible track on its own, and I can kind of tell what's happening via the music in a way.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very excited to see that payoff.
Okay.
And I threw out a theory, and Claire told me I was wrong. So I'm extra excited because I didn't predict what was going to happen.
Okay.
Which I always love. I love it when I don't see something coming.
Yeah. And lastly, I played the Marvel's Avengers beta.
How is it?
Man.
Kind of boring?
So, no. Mm-hmm. So that game has the potential to be something really amazing. Mm-hmm. And I'm not even just talking about Amazing Spider-Man.
Okay.
Spectacular.
I was about to say spectacular, incredible, invincible.
Astonishing.
And so I'll get the good out the way first. I think I think this game is the big budget Legends / Ultimate Alliance game that I've always wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm absolutely okay with it. Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm here for this stuff.
Right.
Like, I don't even care about the single player shit. I'm getting it on the fact that I can play this with my friends.
Yeah, of course.
That's all I'm getting this for. Like, I will never touch this game single player. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll play this with my friends. Or if I have to play single player, okay, I'll do so. Combat is varied between each of the members, which I think is actually very incredible.
Hulk smash, baby.
Yes, Joe. I'm just gonna use a whole bunch of adjectives.
And it'll just pop off the comic that they reference. Okay.
Yeah. It's very Black
Panther.
I was gonna say Widow. Widow's in the game.
But Panther will be.
No.
Yeah, right.
What, are you kidding?
Hold on. Sorry.
Everyone's gonna stop being mad about Spider-Man once fucking Black Panther shows up, bro.
Exclusive to the Xbox. Right. Anyway, but so that's the good.
It's not a lot of good. It's not.
That's why I said this game has a lot of potential.
Okay.
I don't think this game should have came out on current gen consoles.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
It runs bad.
A frame
and
rate
I have a PlayStation Pro. Like, there's a moment where I thought the game was just gonna crash. Like, it was going like in slow motion.
Theo, you know how I feel about frame rates. I don't like how I don't care.
Yeah.
I noticed.
So because I'm on a Pro, they have like a 4K mode and a performance mode, right? So like I'm playing and I'm like, oh, this is really bad. So I went to the Sen to see if there's any option for that because I didn't know that initially. And I saw that they had a 4K mode, so I was like, all right, cool, let me put in a performance. For some reason, it felt worse. I was like, oh, this is, man. And this game comes out in like 2 to 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they have all the time to fix this thing.
Yeah.
Another negative I kind of have with the game is the combat. While the combat is varied between each of the characters, the game feels like it doesn't want you to have fun. So I'm playing Hulk for a long time, right? And you have these cooldowns. You have like the Hulk smash. You have his thunderclap and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The cooldowns on some of these moves are too long.
Yes. Too
long. Like his thunderclap is really good, but it's not like it's gonna decimate the enemies where you're like, okay, I understand why they have it for so long. I went through a mission and I died like maybe 3 times because the enemies just kept popping shots at me, and I just didn't feel powerful. And I understand that this game is like a pseudo RPG where you're gonna upgrade and yeah, you're gonna have moves and crafting and all that stuff. But I should never play the Hulk and be like, yeah, I'm getting worked.
Yeah. I played a game like this not too long ago where I felt like the cooldowns were too long. What game was that? Did I talk about it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't remember you mentioning that.
There was some game I played where it was like the cooldowns in something are too long and it felt terrible. And I don't remember what it was. Sheesh.
But yeah, some of the like I said, combat is fun, but like, whew, those cooldowns, man. And there's something about the game that just feels janky. Mm-hmm. in a weird way. It doesn't feel like one of these prestigious polished games. It
doesn't
just feels
feel
like
polished, right?
Yeah, it feels like it's being held together by fucking tape. Like I'm playing this thing, I'm like, this is gonna fall apart any minute.
When I played the demo, the character I grafted onto the most was Black Widow.
Because she's Arkham. She's the Arkham character.
Yeah, she's straight up like she's Nightwing essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. Like you're fighting Taskmaster, and you're like, okay, yeah, I get this combat. Mm-hmm. Like this is fun. Hulk is fun too. I wish they made it feel. They made him feel powerful.
So is the demo the 8A demo?
Yes.
Okay, so it's the demo I played at Comic-Con last year.
And I didn't get a chance to try the multi because apparently you have to go through this lengthy single player stuff before you actually get there.
So, you have to unlock the multiplayer.
I was like, because I planned with some of my friends. I was like, oh, we have the weekend to do the open beta, so let's try this. So my friend loaded up. He's like, yeah, you guys have to do like a 2 to 3 hour single player thing before you unlock it. And I was like, I I don't think I had that in me.
I understand doing a tutorial level, but come on.
100%. Like, but like you did the A-Day stuff, and then like some years passed, and then I'm like,
and you gotta do more after that? Come on, that's crazy.
Like that's a lot crazy. More after that. You have to do that, and then like 2 missions, and I was like, no.
I understand doing the tutorial and then being allowed to play the multiplayer. That's a little different.
Unless this game, so we spoke about it before. I don't really like the business practices that they're implementing because not because that Sony has Spider-Man. I don't know what the implications are in the future. Like I don't know if like PC will have Wolverine or another like console would have another like.
When does PC get exclusive anything?
All right, yes.
That's true.
You guys have mods.
And we have games that play mouse and keyboard, and I was just talking about one not too long ago. So.
Yeah.
Two, actually.
I feel like at a crossroads right now because I want the version that has Spider-Man in it, but it plays like shit.
Yep.
So I was like, man, I would love to get the PC version, but I don't want to pay the same price for less.
Yeah. Right. Well, also, I wouldn't mind if like the multiplayer is as fun as you say. I wouldn't mind giving it a shot. Although I think it was Children of Morta was the game where I felt like the cooldowns were too long.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I played that. I don't think we had to talk about it, but where it just felt bad where I had all the stuff I could do and I could almost never do it.
Yeah, you're just waiting, biding time.
Yeah.
That's never fun.
No,
it is not.
Yeah. So I was playing Hulk and like this. No. Like when it's up, it's like, yeah, like I can strategically use it. If they had a mode where like as I'm killing enemies, it goes up even quicker, then sure, that's fine. But it's just like it's super slow. It felt like
more damage that you're taking or something.
Something. I was like, this.
It's almost as if the Hulk needs a rage mechanic.
He actually has a rage mechanic, but it doesn't work the way you want it to work.
That's a problem.
Yeah,
that's not good.
Like I said before, this has a lot of potential, and it's a games as service game, so they're gonna improve
milk it. They're gonna milk it.
Yeah,
of course they are. It's the hottest IP the second hottest IP in the world.
Well, it was last year, that's for sure.
I want to get it day one, but like I wouldn't. You don't get these games as service games day one.
No,
I don't know. It's funny because I don't know if I'm gonna get day one either, and it's out soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like I
said I was gonna get Horizon day one. I didn't. I mean, I still don't have it. When they fix it, maybe I can get it. Yeah, especially now that I have a working controller.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't get this. I would not get this day one. I would not. I would wait. I would wait to see like how it drops and what people are saying about it and what the developers are saying about what they're going to do to fix the problems. Wait on it.
Yeah,
I think it's going to drop, and there are going to be. I think it's going to be received poorly.
Absolutely.
Dude, there's a lot of it's getting a lot of people are kind of bashing it already.
I like I said, I had fun with it, and I think the single player is actually really cool. They're dealing with like the Inhumans and Terra Genesis and stuff like that. That's fucking. I didn't know that. So
yeah, I mean, Miss Marvel's one of the main character of the game.
I didn't know the plot was going to be strictly about that. So I was like, this is fucking awesome. But there are too many things holding it back, especially so late in the generation. If this was an early gen game, then you'd be like, okay, cool. Like they're still learning stuff. But it being literally the end of the generation, you kind of releasing a game where it's not as polished as you'd hope it'd be.
Yeah.
It's gonna get like killed in reviews. But 2 years down the line, I could see this being like people saying like, yo, this is one of the best fucking games.
Mm-hmm. The fact that it's a game as a service gives me hope for it, which is why I'm not super down on it.
Yeah.
But like,
how often do you see a game release that has high praise post-mortem?
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky is one.
What's
Diablo
the shooting
3?
Game? Diablo 3. What's
Diablo
the shooting
was another.
They have the units that come in every so often. Ghost Recon.
Mm-hmm.
Ghost Recon another.
Siege, yeah. Like people love that game.
It
happens.
It happens more often than not now, I think.
Yeah, I feel like that's great, but like first impression in gaming is
very
I agree. It's so important.
And that will actually tie into our news topic later, but yes. I 100% agree. And man, I enjoyed my time. That's the crummy thing about it. Like there were pockets where I was like, yeah, I'm having like super fun. Like when I'm playing Kamala, I'm like, this is great, super fun. But
honestly, the thing I'm the most excited about, I'm like,
yeah,
I love that Miss Marvel's in there.
Yeah, Miss Marvel makes it hard for me to get the Democratic vice president's name correct.
I know.
Kamala Khan.
Kamala Khan.
Thanks,
Kamala.
Yeah,
that's what it
I
is.
know. I have to train myself for that.
I know, same man.
But yeah, that's pretty much me.
Yes.
xCloud, Marvel, and Undertale.
All right. Sounds good.
All right.
So,
I guess we should head to the news.
News.
Jam-packed news
Yes.
that we got coming.
for real.
I mean, we talk forever about this shit. So
I know, Jesus Christ,
yeah.
dude.
Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back.
Hang in there.
Hey.
So we had a smorgasbord of news this past week.
Did you say smorgasbord?
Yes, I did.
You put a little stank on that. That's good.
You know
I like
it.
that.
That's
I like
because
that.
this news was stanky.
Yeah.
It was some stanky news this week.
Oh boy. One of the most important ones was Chrono Cross is 20.
God damn it, you son of a bitch.
I remember it being okay.
Yeah. One of the most important sequels of all time came out 20 years ago. One of the most important sequels of all time.
Important?
Yeah, well, important that it was one of the biggest letdowns of all time.
Oh, no.
All right, let's not talk about that.
Yeah, let's not do that. I just wanted to make mention that.
Yeah, thanks.
Also, because that's the LP.
Chrono Cross is 20 years old.
You got it. You got it.
It's my favorite video game OST of all time.
It's my second, maybe third.
Behind Nier.
Yeah, behind Nier. Nier Automata and the first Nier.
Yeah. I mean, those soundtracks are incredible, so I can't even like pretend like I don't understand.
Yeah. So happy birthday, Chrono Cross.
Yeah, hell yeah. Sure.
Happy birthday, Chrono Cross soundtrack.
I
wish people judged you for what you were and not what you weren't.
This should have been called Chrono Cross.
It shouldn't have been a Chrono game. That's all.
It's the greatest sequel for a video game.
You're out of your fucking mind.
It is. It is way more interesting than if they made a Chrono Trigger 2.
Do you know how many times I have watched the videos that these people have been trying to justify that shit for as long as I can fucking recall? And every time I go, except that you're wrong. And except that you're wrong.
Like a sequel, when you make a sequel, you have certain expectations to it. In that era, it's not like they're Nintendo reinventing the wheel with their Zelda games.
Look, there's a difference with like
I said
tangentially relating like a game to an old one, but like when it essentially doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
that's infuriating.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It doesn't.
I think
it's
infuriating. I think I love that aspect about it.
No, I hate it.
It's
why bother? Why bother calling it what it is then? If it has so little to do, I'm not saying it has to be slavish, man.
It's not. So
but it's about the villain. They took the least interesting thing about Chrono Trigger.
It is the consequences from Trigger that made Cross what it is.
I'm not having this discussion.
Happy birthday, Chrono Cross. Anyway,
I hate you so much, Theo. We're gonna get into this fight later, and then we're gonna have Dre in here, so you're gonna be. It's gonna be 3-on-1.
That's fine. That's fine.
Also, the gameplay was really disgustingly boring.
Yep.
I don't agree with that, but okay.
Doesn't hold up.
It's not better than Trigger. It's not better than Trigger. Yeah.
No.
Trigger's just a tighter package. I'm not saying the game is better than Trigger. It's just
It's not even a good video game.
I think it is a good video game. I think it fails as a sequel.
Fair.
But that's all.
Don't agree with that at all, but that's fair. Yes. One of the big news that came out this week was Microsoft delays Halo Infinite to 2021.
Mm-hmm. Good.
That's actually
also
not bad
really
news.
Bad.
Yeah, that's good news and bad news. It's good news for everybody, but bad news for Microsoft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be like delaying Breath of the Wild on the Switch release.
As we are Super Mario 64 for the 64. As allusion to earlier, that first impressions are very important, and you do not want your marquee title to come out and it is not up to the standards of launch title.
We need to see more interesting things about Halo Infinite. And to be fair, it looks all right.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad.
It looks like a Halo game. Yeah. But do you want that?
People need to be hype about it, and they're not hype about Halo anymore.
No.
There's been too much damage done to the franchise.
Yes.
And it's been too oversaturated.
Mm-hmm. So studio head Chris Lee actually mentioned earlier in the week that the team decided to, delay the game. And initially I saw that and I was like, holy shit. Like, what is the Xbox launch at this point without a Halo game?
That's the question. Like, we saw that Xbox conference, and we didn't really see anything that really stood out, or really
nothing at least a launch time.
Yeah.
No.
So when I saw that, I was like, that is a huge blow.
Is really bad.
That is a huge blow because you cannot say now let's delay the Xbox because you don't want Sony to have that head start.
I mean, they already have the head start in Xbox.
Yeah, but you don't want it in time.
No.
Yeah, because that's really why the 360 dominated that gen.
Here's the
thing.
Just
because of its head start.
Yeah, just because it has a head start doesn't mean shit. You remember the Sega Saturn, right?
Yeah.
That was
but the 360 was actually a proper launch, though.
Yeah.
Like,
it's out
now.
Yeah, like, what? I don't have money to buy that. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this was a pretty big blow for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is really bad.
This does hurt. It's their flagship. Like it or not, Halo is their flagship.
It is.
And
the thing about Halo is that it's a first person shooter, so those don't really age well.
No,
it's a genre that is kind of one note. You can't really do a lot with it, and just.
I think it ages well from a gameplay perspective, but in terms of
making
do with it.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Impact.
That's kind of what I meant. Yeah, like you can do different things with the Mario character, and he has. He's been everything. He's been a doctor. He's been a referee. Tennis.
Funny enough, he's never been a plumber.
Piece. He has been a plumber.
He was a plumber in the first game.
That's right.
Mario Bros.
You did nothing but clean pipes.
Yep.
That is true.
Him and Luigi were cleaning out pipes. They were kicking the shit out of monsters while they were doing it. But,
why do you think he wants to rescue the princess so bad? Because he loves cleaning pipes. Anyway, you can't have Master Chief do anything other than shoot aliens.
Yep.
In space.
Shooty bang bang.
Well, on planet now because it's open world, but
you know what I mean.
Like, whatever.
No, I get it. But as you guys said, for everybody else, this is a good move because now we will possibly get a stronger Halo game.
A stronger Halo, but like how good was this going to be? Like, okay, let's say, all right, this has probably been delayed because of production issues with the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
That's
they actually mentioned that the pandemic wasn't a part of it, but they said
that a fact.
That's what they said. I don't believe that. Yeah. They've been pretty much forthright.
You know what? I do because there's an easy out, and if that were true, they would have said so.
That is true. Yeah. But they said we just don't think this game is up to snuff to release it this generation.
You know what?
This year.
I as part of this, like as we said, first impressions are important.
Yeah.
Like it is unfortunate, but if it's what it is, it's what it is.
It's a smart move.
Yeah, it is a smart move at the end of the day.
Again, though, I don't know how you move Xboxes.
Especially against I don't think they care about moving Xboxes anymore, man.
Yeah.
They don't care. It's
that's
Xbox is a service now.
I guess I didn't think about that. This couldn't have happened last generation.
Yeah, last gen would have been death knell.
This wouldn't have happened. They'd be like, yo, put that shit out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, but now
it goes along.
The fact that they're not worried about moving physical units anymore doesn't actually matter.
That's very true.
Doesn't matter now. It's just what it is. It's you're paying for your Microsoft Game Service now that you can play on your PC.
And you're more than likely, because you know Halo is already coming, you're more than likely, if you were planning on getting a Halo machine, you would pick this up anyway.
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, the primary operating system for people playing on PC is a Microsoft product.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a very fringe section of Linux and Unix users, not Unix, but Linux users that can play games, and it's starting to get a lot better.
Yes, I read an article actually recently where they're like, yo, Linux in the next 2 to 3 years will be comparable to Windows. And I was like, I don't believe that at all, but do you say what you're going to say?
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I really like Windows 10 a lot.
It's good. It got better. I've used Linux before, and Linux is really cool.
I mean, it was no Windows 7. Windows 7 was no XP, but, you know.
I don't know. 7 I loved.
7 was great.
I adored 7.
7 was good. Good.
Especially when
sorry. Yes, it was 7. Yeah, 8 was bad.
8 was terrible. I don't even think I actually had anything that ran 8, thank God.
8.1 is when I jumped in, and it was decent, and even then it was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I just by luck of buying computers missed 8.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you know, they so they already have the platform.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They already have the market share on the PC because you need to have a copy of Windows to run it.
Yep.
So that's that. They can distribute on that. It's like a streaming service now, you know? Everything's it's an OS.
Yep.
It's an operating system, it's a platform. It's like I said, it's all software.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think I think that's a good fight for them to fight.
That's why you're seeing a lot of stuff coming on PC because, you know, it's all Windows based and
I'm very curious to see the profitability of this.
I mean,
this ends up being
we know that
efficient.
Well, here's the thing. We know the Xbox. You're right. If they're making Xboxes, they want to sell them.
Yeah, right. That's my point, right?
Are they still? Is hardware like that still being sold at a loss?
Probably.
I'm almost. I think that is the reason we don't have the prices for these consoles yet.
Oh yeah.
There's we're what, maybe four months out between these consoles, 3 months out before these consoles
end of November, right?
Yeah, and we have no idea how much these cost. I still think it's gonna be $600.
Well, there was wasn't there a leaked price tag, a European price tag finally? Like there was a French leaked price tag.
I believe so, but I don't think there's any. They don't really hold water.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think that's probably just someone just.
Because if it was, it's actually a little bit cheaper than I was thinking. If that tag is true, it's in that ballpark.
500 is a safe risk, I guess, if you want to use that incredibly stupid term. But
yeah,
I think
once you go past that, people is like, yeah, I'm tapping out. I'm good.
I think
you know,
no lower than 500, no higher than 650.
Yes, absolutely. Boy. Yeah, it won't be more than that. It can't be.
In terms of profitability,
honestly, it can't be more than 6.
It should not be more than 6.
It can't be. They won't move any.
I think they're gonna have a fight at 5.
I think it's gonna be 5.
Can you imagine Microsoft like going some ballsy era and just say like $400? Fuck it. Fuck it.
I still wouldn't buy it.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
if you don't need it, you're not gonna buy it. That's all there is to it.
I got a PC I'm building. I don't need a fucking Xbox.
That's what I'm about to say about these
You don't need a PlayStation either.
Yeah.
There are some people that just.
I do.
There are some people that just won't build a PC.
Well, I know that. That's fine. And I'm not saying everybody.
I'm not saying for you, but I'm just saying like in terms of profitability. Like there's some people who won't build a PC and they don't care about PlayStation exclusives. They're friends on the Xbox and they're banking on those people.
Yeah.
Plus the people. Yeah, they exist. They're out there.
Yeah, there are Xbox brand loyalists.
I know a lot of friends who's like, yo, I like Gears 1, I like Halo.
Yeah. That's
fine. And I totally get it.
So
same.
I like those games a lot.
If it's something I can play Call of Duty on, I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you play it on everything now.
Yeah, that's right.
Play on your phone.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have 270 gigabytes on your phone?
Oh,
Jesus.
Boy, I don't even want to talk about
I do. What's on my phone, technically?
Storage? Come on.
So, some big Capcom news came out recently.
Yeah, the day after we talked about it.
Yep.
I was like, didn't we talk about that? How close it was to my last recording.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys just take this away. I'm not.
Right after we talked about Ono, Yoshinori Ono getting taken a demotion again.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like he had decided that he had had enough and he left Capcom. So it seems that he was probably getting demotions in order to encourage him to leave.
In the typical Japanese businessman way.
Yeah.
Because that's how that works. They demote you until you leave.
Yeah.
until you officially commit like seppuku, you know, and bleed yourself out on the floor financially, or you just walk out.
Bleed yourself on the floor financially.
When do we get Fighting Street from Oh No Kickstarter campaign?
Well,
what do you guys thoughts on this?
Well, he's not going to be the Capcom version of Igarashi, if that's what you're saying.
No, all right. So my thoughts on Oh No, and I obviously not the biggest Street Fighter 4 fan in the world, but holy fuck, am I happy it existed?
Yeah, I mean, he did as much good as he did damage.
I actually disagree with that. I think he did more good than damage because of the fact it's all back.
He did. He was responsible for Capcom Fighting Jam.
I know.
That was his. That killed it. And then Street Fighter 4 came back. It was like a story of fantastic timing.
Yes.
Fantastic timing.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did it again with Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Mm-hmm.
So you average it out. Sure, you have the return of fighting games of Street Fighter 4, but you killed an entire genre near to death with one of them.
It was already dead before that.
Yeah.
Let's face it. It was dead before that.
Yeah, it was dead before that. Nail in the coffin.
I don't want to blame him for the death.
Killed the genre?
Capcom Fighting Jam.
I don't think that's the kill. I think
is that game that important that it kills the genre?
No, it's not.
It sent it into hibernation.
Mm-hmm.
That's what sent it into hibernation. Like, we got to put this to sleep.
Yeah.
It also killed the possibility that we'll see a internal Capcom fighting game like that.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why it's like, why don't you do a Capcom only Marvel games? We tried that. It didn't work. No, you didn't. Shut up. So, yeah. Street Fighter 4, it was massively successful for a fighting game.
Time and place.
Time and place is perfect. You know,
I remember the hype before Street Fighter. Like, every time a new image came out, I was like, this game looks beautiful.
Yep.
This is the ground level. I was an 09er. Like, fuck it. Like, this was the ground level for me to actually jump into a Street Fighter, and I jumped into it hard. And I realized that, fighting games ain't just for me. But regardless of which, it came out, and I was like, I fought a fight stick. I modded a fight stick. I got into that whole community.
Theo, you tried.
Yeah.
Which is all that actually matters.
Yeah.
You picked up the thing and you gave it a try.
Yeah, no college try with that. And I was like, I'm going to go in the lab and try to learn these characters. And if not for that game, I would have never done that. I'm not well versed into fighting game stuff as you guys, but without that game, I don't see these games. I mean, these games like the big budget, like Tekken 7 and stuff like that will come out. But like the rise of these like more niche titles, I don't really see them coming out.
I mean, they were already kind of there.
Mm-hmm.
They're just really hidden.
Yeah.
They like had very not even limited releases, just like, projects of passion. So they were still there. You just didn't hear about them because like by the time there was no Street Fighter game to carry the torch, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there's arguments to say that Street Fighter 4's success was a fluke. It was, lightning in a bottle, and it was lightning in a bottle.
It was, but most things are.
Well, yeah, most successes, yeah.
Well, like most successes are. It's like you can attribute you can say, oh, the timing was luck, or was it so fucking brilliant because it came out exactly when it needed to happen.
Yeah.
And that's the genius of it.
So the legacy of Ono will be Street Fighter 4. He'll have that under his belt. He could walk away feeling he had this success.
Mm-hmm.
Street Fighter 5 didn't do nearly as well as people wanted it to, both from a publisher developer standpoint, even consumer standpoint. The third one, things were starting to gear towards, built for esports, and it didn't work. It has to happen organically. But Street Fighter 4 will always be Ono's thing.
Yep.
That would be his legacy.
That's his baby.
Yeah. He can walk away with his head held high, said, I did this.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything is bad because of this.
What was he for 2? Like, who was he on that team for Street Fighter 2?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Oh, he wasn't part of the company for Street Fighter 2, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. No, he wasn't involved with Street Fighter 2.
He wasn't there.
No.
Oh.
Dude, Street Fighter 2 is ancient.
Okay, I was like, wait, isn't that not 30 years ago?
More.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was in development in '89.
Right.
Oh well, there you go.
So it sounds like the rumors that have been circulating about development with Street Fighter 6 they carry a little more weight now. They have a little more water.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like that was a lot more possible than we had thought it might have been, and it sounded really plausible to begin with.
Yeah, yeah. But honestly, I'm happy. I'll be honest. I don't mind that it's taking its time to come out. I'd rather they get it right.
Yeah.
It's like when I heard that it was, like, the rumor, or should I say, when I heard the rumors that, like, they were just not happy where it was, and, like, we got to fucking really fix this.
One of the big problems with Street Fighter V is that it came out at a time where people were not tired of Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, they were.
They were growing weary, but they weren't tired of it yet. It wasn't like, we haven't had anything for a long, long time.
Yeah. It
Ultra,
wasn't like,
Ultra was around for a year.
Oh yeah, I know.
A year.
And we saw the beta in Ultra in Omega mode.
Yeah.
For a bunch of shit that got put into Street Fighter V.
Uh-huh.
Like Ryu's parry is in Omega mode. Like
Omega
Mind's Eye is there.
Omega mode is really interesting. It's kind of funny. And honestly, I would love to see that kind of thing be like a sort of a baseline for a fighting game, where you have this character. You remember the EX modes for Capcom vs. SNK 1?
Of course, customizable fucking grooves.
Those are great. Like, they were like EX characters have different movesets.
They did. They had movesets. Yeah. So you're essentially picking a groove on a character technically.
Something like that. Yeah, where you have a character.
A different version.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing with
SNK does that a lot.
Well, I mean, so I would go grab it, but I'd have to leave the room for it. But I have the Street Fighter Alpha Anthology for the PlayStation 2. Okay? And on this, and there's also, there was also another similar thing that came packaged with the Street Fighter Anniversary, the 15th Anniversary Collection, for Street Fighter's 15th Anniversary, that came with the PS2 release of Third Strike, and it also came with a version of Street Fighter 2 that was released exclusively on the Dreamcast called Hyper Street Fighter 2. And it was a version of Street Fighter 2 in which you could pick every single iteration of any Street Fighter 2 character and fight another one.
The thing about that is, they all had, this pretty much the same move list, just those moves did different things.
Street Fighter Alpha Anthology, you can unlock Hyper Street Fighter Alpha, in which you can pick Alpha 2 Ken and play Alpha 3 Ryu in Vism. It has that. So it's all this shit stacked together.
I think the custom combo will usually win, but the Vism combo...
But Vism versus custom combo...
Vism does have the crouch cancel infinite, so...
It does, but does it have unblockable via ACC?
It doesn't have unblockable via ACC. Obviously, Vism does have some unblockables.
It does.
That's
Dark awesome.
Blocks, yeah. Awesome. Anyway, so with Ono gone, you have a chance of seeing a Capcom only fighting game again. He was a big proponent for returning to Darkstalkers, from what I understand. So
he was very big on Darkstalkers trying to come back.
No Darkstalkers ever again.
You may see even less of Darkstalkers than you see now, which is not really possible.
I'm putting all my hope on Rival Schools now.
Yeah, Rival Schools you might see.
I am.
Yeah.
The producers of 5 love that series.
So you might see return to Rival Schools.
Ishitani wants to make another one.
You might go back to it. The person in charge of Street Fighter now was the head of the mobile department.
Mm-hmm.
So she did Teppen.
That's
all right. Yeah, which is fine. Yeah,
honestly,
people like Teppen.
Teppen's incredible.
I just don't like playing games on my phone, but when I played it, I was like, this is cool.
Yeah.
Teppen is chock full of Capcom love.
Yeah.
Which is one of the coolest things about Capcom as a company.
So I don't think this is a bad. She made Teppen.
Yeah.
That's fine. I think we're in good hands. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of optimistic for Street Fighter 6, to be honest.
Me too. I am too.
I'm very optimistic.
I am too, because I know they have made so many mistakes over the last 10 years. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Please, they have to learn from it, right?
Look, they made a comeback proper with Resident Evil. Mm-hmm. They made a comeback with Devil May Cry.
Yep. Now
I know that it's Street Fighter's turn.
Now it's time to do it for Street Fighter. Yeah.
If the supposed Street Fighter 6, well, not supposed, if the Street Fighter 6 come out and it is not good, what does that spell for the series?
It goes away for a long time. or they fix it in a later iteration. But
first impression.
It can't have another bad first impression like 5 did.
No, it cannot.
Like, because 5, the flaws in the game weren't readily apparent yet. Because if it had a good package deal with it, the reception wouldn't have been nearly as bad.
Nope.
And all it had to do was have some extra bells and whistles in it, and I think they need to remember that. I think they need to stare. I can't believe I'm going to say this. They need to stare at Mortal Kombat, and just, even though
it was never that, though.
It was never all the great shit that's in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat felt like they put love and effort into it, and you need to broadcast that.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing about Mortal Kombat 11 that feels half-assed.
Just shit out, yeah.
Well,
except for maybe the gameplay
and the animation.
I'll give you that. That's what I'm really talking about. The animation.
Okay, I'll agree with you.
Look
with
at
caveats.
Look at Overwatch came out the same year as Street Fighter 6. I mean Street Fighter 5, correct?
Yes.
You can
16, yeah.
Despite how you might feel about Overwatch, you can tell there is love behind every single.
Like the presentation is night and day.
Incredible.
And that game has no type of single player
zero
content at all. But people love that and then hated Street Fighter.
Yeah, and it's just the effort that was put in. And Street Fighter 5, it felt like they tried to play it safe on the presentation in a lot of ways. Although there was a lot of things I did love, like obviously the music from the beginning. I actually think they're in the golden era of like fighting game music right now. Like Street Fighter 5 soundtrack.
It's the best part of Street Fighter 5.
Fighting games in general, or
fighting games for the most part. Yeah, I mean, dude, listen to Guilty Gear. Jesus fucking
You know what's funny? I was actually thinking about this the other day. I don't think there is an era better than the one we're in right now with better music.
For video game music as a whole,
yeah.
Yes and no. I hate it.
PlayStation era was pretty damn good.
Yeah, because that's when everybody got to go nuts finally.
Yeah, but people are going nuts with more tools.
I feel currently right now, over the last couple of years, I think I'm beginning to agree with you. Because there's a lot of really amazing, dynamic, like nuanced stuff that goes on. Like even in the game of like Streets of Rage.
Yes.
Even though you're not, Joe, I know you're not high on that soundtrack, but that dynamic, like use a Stormboat as an example, like that track, right?
That's actually the soundtrack. I was listening to that on Google Play, and I was like, yo, this generation has incredible music.
Incredible.
And ironically, eclectic.
On a whole, in its entirety, I think the Tekken 7 soundtrack is not good.
I agree.
It has some very good songs. Infinite Azure, Moonsiders First is a great track. It's amazing, and it's easily the best thing on that. But as a whole, it's not great. It's certainly not as good as previous Tekken games.
Tekken's best soundtrack is 5.
5.
No. Not just because of Moonlit Wilderness. I know that's the song because that's the song.
Yeah.
When you first hear that, you're like, oh, right? Like, you're like, oh, this is like...
When I heard
the entirety of Tekken 5 soundtrack is incredible. There's like one or two tracks that are kind of meh.
When I heard they were bringing a stage in Season 3, Tekken, I'm like, this is Moonlit Wilderness.
Yep.
This is it. That's what they're doing, right? And they didn't do that. I'm like, why wouldn't
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
It came back in Tekken Tag 2. And that Moonlit Wilderness, and they remixed the song, and it still sounds incredible, by the way.
Yeah.
I think the first one's still the best, but yeah, Tekken 5 was the pinnacle of those soundtracks.
Yeah.
Also, have you guys played Soul Calibur lately?
I don't own it.
Not lately, but yeah.
It's incredible.
The game or...
The game? Oh, and the music. Okay. Soul Calibur
music's always been fantastic.
Always. It's like, if it's not good, you're like, what are they doing? Like, another reason why 5 failed. 5 has the worst Soul Calibur soundtrack. Still better than most video game soundtracks, mind you. Yeah. But it's the worst for Soul Calibur.
For my money, you haven't gotten better than 1, though.
Oh, Soul Calibur 1?
Soul Calibur 1.
Yeah. It's between, honestly, for Soul Calibur, for me, it's between Soul Blade 1 and Soul Calibur 1 and Soul Calibur 2. Like, those soundtracks are bonkers. Theo, I'll put some tracks on. I'll send you some links later. Right. So, like, some specific ones. But, yeah. Like, so, oh, no. Thanks.
Oh, no.
So long, and thanks for all the fish.
So long, thanks for all the fish. Oh, those are real stinkers.
Yeah, but that one he got was really good.
Right? Oh, a red snapper. Very tasty.
So bad.
Oh, man. But, yeah, he's, Good luck on his future endeavors.
Absolutely,
future endeavor, and let's go.
Hey, man, that's what happens.
Yep.
And last but not least, Apple, Google, and Epic are having a Mexican standoff right now.
It's more like
slap fight.
Yeah, slap fight. Yeah, Mexican standoff with no guns. The other day, Epic announced that they will start charging for their. I don't play Fortnite, so I don't really know what it is. I believe it's their Battle Pass or
their Battle Pass, yeah.
Their Battle Pass, but they will circumvent Apple's in-game app purchases.
Direct payment to Epic through the game itself.
Yeah,
and Apple was like, "Nah, you can't do that." Like,
but Amazon can.
Yep.
Which is why we'll get to that. So. Knowing what Apple would do, Epic was like, "Hey, you guys are Monopoly, and you guys taking 30% of everything that."
Which is pretty egregious.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
When I saw that percentage, my jaw dropped. I went,
I was like,
wow.
30% of everything. I think Steam
is this. Yeah. I think Steam is 30 as well.
I don't think they take 30% of all in-game purchases though. Like
I was actually surprised about. I knew it was about actual purchases, but in-game apps and in-game purchases, that is significant.
That's most of the money, if you ask me.
It's all the money. It's a free game.
And Epic was like, okay, we're gonna
Fortnite, it's all the money.
We're gonna have our own place where you could buy your currency. Yeah. And we're gonna undercut it for what is normally $10. We're gonna charge $7. So
fuck you.
Apple
fuck your 30%.
Yep.
Like an extra fuck
I'd rather lose a 30% than give it to you.
I kind of love the pettiness of that, honestly.
So when I'm looking at all this, I'm like, holy shit, this is the most interesting thing that has come out in a very long time. Because I'm actually fascinated about this entire conflict because I agree on jumping ahead of the horse. Apple was like, yeah, you can't fucking do that. So they took Fortnite off the stores.
Which is huge. Fortnite.
Which is a huge deal.
And I'm huge deal. Which I'm like, at first I saw this, I'm like, oh, okay. Epic thought they were hot shit, because they're Fortnite, and everybody plays Fortnite.
Which they are. Yeah. Let's not lessen this.
They are hot shit.
If there is a company to do this, it is Epic with Fortnite.
Here's the thing, though. Apple has so much money, they don't give a shit.
Nope.
They don't need Fortnite.
Yes.
But then Android did it too.
Well,
yeah, Google kind of. Well, before we get there, Epic released a trailer that was very reminiscent of the 1984 black and white trailer with the lady running down and throwing the sledgehammer. Yeah, I saw that initially, and mind you, this came out no more than an hour after the whole news came out. So I was like, wow, somebody. I always, like I said, I don't play Fortnite, so I always thought that Fortnite had a Gary's Mod kind of situation where I was like, oh, somebody made this. This is really good. Mm-hmm. And then read the news article saying that, no, this is official.
They had that ready. As they planned for this.
Exactly.
They knew it was going to happen.
Because they looked at it and it was like, you know what? This is going against Apple's MO, their contract, and they were like, we're ready for the fight.
What did they say at the end of it? They're like, oh my god! Like, okay, I want to talk about this video for a second because this is fucking stupid. Like everything about this is fucking dumb. This is like a bunch of supervillains throwing money around at each other.
Yep.
This is what this is. This helps nobody. Really is. And the fact that they tag this video at the end, like, don't let 2020 become 1984. Give me a fucking break.
Epic, the balls on you.
Give me a fucking break.
How many more exclusives you gonna buy this year?
This is about you making more money.
Yeah. So why I am slightly on Epic's side. I'm not on their side because for them.
Yeah.
I'm on their side for
representatively
smaller developers who wants to release their games onto the Apple ecosystem.
And they're like, that is exactly the narrative they're trying to push.
Yes.
That is exactly what they're hinging on. They are trying to get the people to get behind them. They get behind, like, this is about them making more money. And they're spinning this narrative saying, hey, look, Apple has this monopoly here. right?
Don't look at the Epic Game Store. Don't look at the Epic Game Store.
Yeah, don't look at the Epic Game Store where we're buying exclusive things. No, look at it. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Exactly. They're so fucking full of shit. It makes my stomach turn.
Full of shit. They're so full of shit. They're spinning this narrative to get people behind them and to support them. It's about money. Just goddamn money. Channeling Nick Nolte for a minute.
So, question, right? Are they doing future damage to themselves this way?
No. Not really.
Yes.
I don't think so.
Hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out. When they become on the receiving end of this one day, when Epic suddenly becomes...
Somebody's going to make a 1984 trailer about the 2020 trailer.
Yeah, they do that.
Here's the thing.
And then it's actual some developer who isn't some fucking
scumbag
piece of shit.
Here's why I say no, okay? Because that whole 1984 trailer, that was Apple back in the day. Yeah, that's why they're parroting that. This used to be you guys.
Yeah.
This used to be you.
Used to be cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
You used to be cool. You used to be the rebels. You were the power to the people company.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now you're billionaires, and you know what? They don't care. They don't care about what they used to be. They have billions of dollars.
Too much money to give a shit.
I am fascinated to see how this all plays out.
Yeah.
Who plays chicken?
It doesn't matter. Apple fucking wins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah. Bro, how do you run Fortnite on your phone now? That hurts Epic more than it hurts Apple.
Well, here's the thing. Send the curveball. Theo, go ahead. Give the curveball.
Oh.
Yeah.
So initially when this news came out, I was like, okay, yeah. I think I'm on Epic's side, not for their reason, but for like other developers' reason. And I was like,
what it means for other developers, yeah.
Epic knows what they're doing. They want to bring awareness to this because in the previous week, xCloud isn't coming to the Apple ecosystem because the way Apple sets up their store, they're like, yeah, we don't want other gaming services on our stuff. So I was like, okay, if Epic can fight this fight and kind of open up the floodgates for other things to happen on the Apple ecosystem, that's good, despite what Epic's motive is. Then Google came into the fray and I was like, hey guys, you're breaking our fucking claims too. So
even though you can like kind of sideload the app, you have to go through a bunch of hoops to do it. You don't have to go. You don't have to go through us.
But Google was like, you can't fucking just have a whole other payment option that's not ours. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? Get out of here.
You can if you do a little thing. It's okay. But like they clearly were not ready for Google.
No,
because they didn't have a trailer.
Nope. Ready for good. They're like, okay.
They probably was like, Google might actually come into this. It's like, oh shit, they came into this.
Mm-hmm. So what does that say about like Fortnite's money?
Oh yeah, they got fuck you money, but they don't have like Apple's fuck you money.
They don't.
Money, but and it's only a matter of time. That's where they're doing this because it's only a matter of time before Fortnite falls out of favor.
Yep.
They want to be Apple. They want to be Microsoft. They want Epic. Yep. They want the Epic games or like Epic services to be as ubiquitous as they are.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
And they're not there yet.
No, they're not. But they're hoping that they see
Fortnite is not there yet.
They see what Apple did.
Man.
They're like, look what Apple did. Look what they did. We can be that. If
Fortnite,
we're them.
I think we're underestimating Fortnite.
No, we're not.
I'm not.
Fortnite is a juggernaut, and right now it is unstoppable.
Yes.
And it's not going to slow down anytime soon, but it will eventually.
Yes,
it will eventually.
The same way Apple has slowed down.
No,
because you could say this. No, Apple has slowed down significantly.
Fortnite will slow down. Epic will not.
Yes.
If Epic plays their cards right, which is what they're trying to do here, they're trying to get their own platform to be their own thing, the same way Steam did it with Counter-Strike.
Yep.
The same way Apple did it with their iPhones. They're trying to do their own thing with Fortnite. They want people to get on board with their own proprietary shit because that's where you can play Fortnite. While it's still popular.
Can you imagine a fucking Epic phone?
I'm going to use soon, bro.
Honestly, that doesn't sound that crazy.
Of course it doesn't.
This is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. This is all that lawsuit is about. It's about them being their own independent entity.
I want all the money.
Getting lots and lots of money. They won't be making games anymore. They'll be saying, "Come to us
on our Huawei phones."
Us. Yeah.
Whoops.
You know what? Honestly, this is probably a good thing. That's kind of where I'm at.
It actually is.
If they fucking stop purchasing exclusivity rights to things, they won't. Another distribution platform is a good thing. The only thing bad about it is when you start to throw money around at it, like exclusive shit. This is where Sony falls out of favor for me. This is why I will not buy into the Epic Store. It's because of that shit. But if you give developers and consumers more options for it, you can put your stuff in the store where you can buy the stuff you want. If you give them more options, it gets more competitive and it's better. So, ironically enough, this is like that picture of Bruce Wayne and Tony Stark throwing money at each other, and Spider-Man picking it all up off the floor. What this is?
Yeah, not wrong.
I love that you use Spider-Man because,
Well, that's the image.
No, I know, but with the most recent news of Spider-Man.
I know, yeah. You're right. You're right.
This is the most interested I've been about news in a long time because I cannot wait to see what comes from this.
I mean, this could either be big or nothing for Epic. So this is they're hedging a bet here.
I don't think this is anything but big.
No, this is only good because people are not going to stop buying Fortnite. They're going to go where Fortnite is,
and I think that's what they're banking on.
Yeah, that's
exactly now it's a brand
because you can tell they did it on purpose because they were ready for it. They knew. They're like they wanted to test Apple with it because they know fucking Amazon gets a pass.
Mm-hmm.
So they called their bluff with Apple, and Apple's like, okay, just whatever, go. We don't
care.
Goodbye. And then like, oh, here's the thing. We have a lawsuit here, and they're doing it against Google too, and for the same reasons, even though the case against Google is a little bit weaker. They were ready.
Yeah. I think that's the funniest part about this whole thing.
That is the exact narrative that they're using. They are painting Apple as the bad guys, as the former heroes of the consumer. Blah 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 blah.
You guys were fun when you were indie rock group. Now you're like big.
Now you sold out.
Now you're the sold out, and you're the man.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys.
We're the man now.
Epic calls Fortnite a global cultural phenomenon, and mentions its 350 million downloads.
It's not wrong.
I mean, this Verge article, it says an overwhelming amount of that 18.3 million comes from in-app purchases in free-to-play games like Fortnite.
Yeah.
18.3 million.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not a small, no matter how big Apple is, that is not a small amount of money for them to lose.
No, it's not. I mean,
I just want to see who plays chicken first. I don't think Apple plays chicken, honestly.
No, you know what? This is like Epic played chicken first. They did because this is what they started it. They threw the first punch.
They did because they knew. Mm-hmm. They're like, man, they're gonna come down on us fucking hard.
Follow this lawsuit.
It's our new Vivendi Ubisoft
takeover. Oh
yeah! I'm very excited.
This one isn't as fun though.
No. It's
and the news on that, the latest on that is that Vivendi has not acquired Ubisoft as of this date. So
watch news break after this recording.
Oh my God! Yep, you said it. Now it's out there.
That is the latest update.
Breaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of news this week.
Yeah. Yep.
A lot of big ones too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was an episode.
I yelled really loudly.
Good. Huh?
I yelled really loudly.
Well, it's upsetting.
Well, it's about Epic.
It's not upsetting. It's just, I see what's happening. It's painfully obvious what's happening.
It's not subtle.
It's not at all subtle. It's
not even subtle.
It's about as subtle as a sack of bricks on a tambourine. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yep. You ain't wrong, bro. You ain't wrong. God damn it.
Yes.
Well, I want to see this. It's going to be a spectacle. This lawsuit's going to be something.
Love it. Can't wait.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I think Epic loses because you can't go into somebody's house and open their fridge and just take their shit.
You know what? That's the thing. Here's the thing. If Epic wins, that's good for them. It adjusts antitrust laws on Microsoft and Google's platforms, and it's better for everybody. If Epic loses, that's good for them too.
Yeah, it's a win-win scenario.
Yeah, because they fought the power and lost, and now they're going to be the rebellious thing that they can do on their own.
Yeah.
This is
absolute
win scenario.
Win for Epic.
Yeah.
Win.
Honestly, if they come out of Martyr, it's actually probably better.
Yeah, if they lose, it might actually be better.
Yeah.
It'll probably be better if they lose.
Yeah, it might. I don't know. I'm just like I'm staring at this and it's like I kind of want company to burn to the ground.
We all do.
I want them all to burn.
We all
to the
do.
ground,
I think Apple is honestly really terrible in what they become. Google has lost sight of their original vision. Yeah,
they got rid of their old slogan.
Yeah, don't be evil.
Don't be evil.
Yeah. And Epic is it's not the same company that I used to like when I played Unreal Tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been very vocal about how I dislike their practices of buying exclusives just so they can get people to come to their platform and not actually make a better platform.
Is this inevitably Microsoft's fault?
How do you mean?
They're the ones who start buying exclusives before anybody.
You may be right.
This is Microsoft's fault.
They're
the ones who jam their fucking feet in the door.
If Microsoft did it, somebody else would have.
Yeah.
If God did not exist, it would be necessary to invent him.
Fair enough.
On that note,
but still their fault.
On that cheerful note,
just because they were the first person to throw the rock, doesn't mean that rock throwing was not a concept before they did it. You know, like I said, if they weren't the first, they wouldn't. Someone would have been. It's not like it would not have happened.
Mm-hmm.
It was not Pandora's box. The evil was already out.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I've been trying to end this thing for like the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, sorry, Theo.
Well, that's always the hardest part. It's like, okay, cool.
All right.
You can catch us on everything. You know the spiel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
SoundCloud, YouTube. Well, now YouTube.
Yeah.
Google Play.
Nope. YouTube Music now.
Oh my God. Yeah, whatever. Not evil music now.
Stitcher.
Not evil music.
Stitcher, iHeartRadio. You know everything. If we're not on, let us know.
You can find us on Epic Software.
Yep.
In the
We're
future.
announcing that the Epic Game Store has purchased the rights to the 4205
cast, and will be exclusively broadcast through Fortnite.
Oh my God! Listen,
if Epic came to us right now and said $30 million for each one of us to be exclusive to the Epic Game Store, you're not gonna say yeah?
I would take it. I would take it and leave the podcast.
Yep. Yep. Now there'd be a contract saying we'd have to stay for at least a year, bro. Yeah.
I'd be the richest hypocrite in history.
Yep, same here. Hey, at least we're honest with ourselves about it.
Yeah.
We're also because we're all not rich. So
yeah.
Because that's life-changing money.
Oh, yeah. Lives changing
money. Like me and my future family.
Like there's a reason this shit works. There's a reason this shit works.
Yeah. Yep. Look, I get it.
Yeah. I get it. Like we haven't made a dime off of this since we started.
As far as I know.
Yeah. Right? I haven't seen any paychecks for this.
Wait, you're not getting paychecks?
No, we're not getting paychecks. I am getting paychecks. No, not for this.
Let's cut this off. I don't want to talk about paycheck.
Do we have to unionize?
Might have to.
God. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for listening, and thank you guys for joining us. This is the 4205 cast.